infatuated with the in-between, the ups, the downs, the curves and the rounds. I'll bring it to your city or your hometown. I'll go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live.
And we're back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm West. This guy is Dave. This guy is Matt Harmon. And we're here.
Tonight we're counting down the top 40 at 9 o'clock.
We're here to not to do anything really important. There's nobody important to talk to or about tonight. So we might just shoot the breeze, drink a little bit.
We have a guest, and you were like, there's nobody important
Crap.
to talk
I
to.
forgot. We do actually have a guest. I forgot.
I thought he was talking about him.
No, so tonight's actually be a really cool show. So tonight we have Keith Edwards. He is an esports coach, and I'm clearly the youngest and most vibrant member of our community here on this show. So I should know a lot more about esports than I do. But so we'll go ahead and bring him on. And
everything I know about esports, I've learned from Keith, from hanging with Keith.
So Keith, how you doing, man?
And that's not a whole lot. I'm doing well, gentlemen. Thank you for having me on. You too, Matt. Wake up. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Can you see him?
Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah, we could see him. We could see him. There's this magical thing called
You
cameras
want me to
now.
lean in a
Matt.
little bit more?
EA coach
I could-
looks like, huh?
Well, esports, not EA necessarily. He's a coach.
They all look
He's
like
wearing
that.
Under Armour. so
They
he is
all
a
look
coach.
just like that. They all look just like that,
You have
Matt.
a whistle?
Do you have a whistle, Keith?
Oh, I got a
I
brand new whistle in here. I'm gonna give
Do,
you.
but I don't have it with me.
Do you use it?
No.
Ah, okay.
No.
Yeah, they probably
It-
frown
it
on
sits in
that.
It sits in the center console of my Jeep. I don't, I used to use it for roller derby because, believe it or not, I used to be a roller derby official too.
No way.
Oh yeah.
That's
The
That's
the
hilarious.
secret past of the esports coach at Underdog Community College.
so right. So basically, that breaks it down. If you want to get into esports, the quickest way is through roller derby.
Everybody knows.
All of that tracks. All of that
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing you need to have hand-eye coordination. No funny jokes, David. I know you have some hand-eye coordination, but not at Walmart because you have to be off the clock.
Well, you got to
for that.
clock out.
Yeah, there was
So Kim
interesting
Howard says
commentary
not
before
fair.
the
I
show.
want to be on.
Well, Kim, maybe one day we'll do a show on extracurricular pastimes that is now legal in some states, and we'll talk about that as an industry. We'll bring you on, Kim.
You got to tell me when Kim.
Can I be on that one too?
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Kim Howard, Matt says hi. So Keith,
Yes.
why don't you tell us a little bit about like where you coach, kind of generally what you
Whoa,
do?
whoa!
Hang on,
No,
whoa, I'm getting ahead of myself.
no.
Getting ahead of myself.
You are. West.
It's your show. Get ahead.
What are you drinking over there tonight, bud?
Well, I'm out of Blanton's. I haven't been to the beer shop in a while. I've really been slacking, so I'm drinking Tin Cup again. It's good stuff.
Nice.
Again, I mean,
You
Tin
can't
Cup's
go-
good stuff.
You can't go wrong with Tin Cup.
Yeah.
It's not very expensive. It's really good bourbon.
Yeah, you about wiped the bottle out.
Great branding.
You know, I'm out of Green Label Special Reserve Weller, and you know, the other day I happened to stumble across the
Ooh.
Weller 12 year, which most people would consider, and according to the pricing on it, it is a much better bourbon. However, just my hillbilly taste buds, man, I love the Green Label of the Weller, the
The
Special,
Reserve is great.
So
Which
it is just a delicious bourbon.
That's what.
I
So
said
Matt's
on-
drinking my Special
Better.
Reserve right now.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So I'm gonna probably finish off this bottle of Eagle Rare. What doesn't fit in my glass on purpose will go into my infinity bottle for tonight. And then always on hand, unlike you, I have a bottle
brand
of
new
Blanton's.
bottle. Nice.
Nice.
and I'm saving about the last quarter to half of my Japanese Blanton. So I'm gonna crack a new bottle open just so I can keep the Japanese Blantons from running
Good
out.
stuff.
All right, Keith.
Choices. And I've
Keith,
got
I know you're at work, so
I've got a wonderful Rogue Energy drink. This one happens to be black cherry lemonade.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
actually does sound really good.
Rogue is very good. We are lucky enough to have a sponsorship with Rogue Energy Drink. So if you go to rogueenergy.com and order any of the products and you use the code GOLAZERS, LAZERS, you get 10% off on your first purchase, and we get a little bit of kickback. And you know, it's a nice thing. My students love it. We're also
Yeah.
working on sponsorships with G Fuel and Red Bull
That is
because
awesome.
Yeah.
you can never have too many energy drinks.
So what
We
is?
were working on another sponsorship too, and then leadership changed and really screwed everything up.
Oh yeah, we would actually be playing our games in the well.
Wait,
This was going to be
I missed.
well.
something.
We were working on a sponsorship. David was trying to get a sponsorship for us. He inquired about the naming rights of the arena
Okay.
because we don't really have a name for the room yet. So it was planning on being the Honeywell Esports Arena at Onondaga Community College.
Yeah.
And students had already taken to calling it the Well.
Right.
And I said that, but what's even better is because of his last name, we could say we named it after him.
And that's really what was going to happen.
Right.
Right.
That's all we need is things to go to my head, right?
Yeah. Don't
So if
don't.
there's, if anybody out there is listening and they'd like to, have an esports arena named after them, I can take a check or a money order, probably somewhere between $253,000, $400,000.
Chump change.
Yeah.
Chump change. I'll write.
Yes,
I'll cut you a
yeah.
check now. It'll be the Underdog arena. We'll make this
There you
happen.
go. We're a bunch
It'll
of
be in the
underdogs.
shape of a rubber dog bone.
Yeah. As long as I can
Yeah.
chew on it, you know.
So I gotta tell you, I'm thinking the buying stock in Little Debbie over here.
Yeah, David.
You already
I could have just
stock in Little Debbie.
I could have just not bought a Little Debbie's and then named the arena. That's what it feels like at this point.
So for those who don't know, David actually gives out full boxes of Little Debbie's at Halloween instead of pieces of candy.
Because he's a douche.
Well, one, he is kind of a he's kind
Yeah,
of
most
that,
people say
he's
that.
the neighborhood dad that the other dads hate. He's that guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, you're the house that like everybody hits. Like they'll like go around the corner, change costumes, and come back. That's what they do.
So this year I'm buying a
You
stamp.
doing a stamp?
I'm doing a stamp because I know there's going to be 400 to 450 people come across here.
Look, when you're out,
I
you're
believe
out.
it.
Just don't stand.
Yeah.
Well, you can't remember 400
I
people.
know, but he's not. It's not. It ruins the spirit of Halloween. If they sneak around and get another one, good for them.
If they can come back and get they can get another whole box at the end of the night. Make sure all the little kids get the first box.
No, you know what? I think
After that, I don't care because I don't want them here in my house.
But you know what?
I want them gone.
I think if they make the effort to change costumes, like that episode of Family Guy where Peter Griffin kept coming along in different costumes to get the free samples at the restaurant at the grocery store, like they
At the
deserve
Costco, yeah.
another box if they're willing to go that extra mile.
All right.
I
So if
told
they go
David
and they change, they come back. I'm okay with that.
I told David, I said, I wonder how many costume changes I can make in my Jeep in a matter of 3 hours.
just come back with like a funny mustache or like the nose with the glasses.
Yes. That was not me. I'm from Buffalo.
That's the official Buffalo accent, by the way.
Yes. That was a mixture of making fun of the French people and Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cop.
That's two Eddie Murphy references tonight.
Yeah.
I
Well, I'm
have
fine.
to go. We have a timeout.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Keith actually has to do some coaching. He's an actual coach.
Stuff happens. He's got to go.
Use your sniper rifle, you dumbass.
He's gonna go make that guy run laps.
Are we gonna break out the dog biscuit?
Yeah.
I'm starving over here.
Matt Harmon wants to. You say you're getting enough fiber. You don't need more fiber in your diet.
Oh my god,
I don't need you clogging my toilet. That was a great. Good thing Keith's not here.
Well,
So
somebody
this is a
did just
great
run
interview
off.
so
I just
far.
watched somebody on his screen. Just run off. I don't know what's going on.
Uh-oh.
Kim, it will help. No, it will help. No, help. Kim, it will help. Known as the Munchie House. Help.
Yeah, there's whole other conversations happening in the
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah.
here.
What's going on here?
Sabrina Arrington says, "Party at David's house. Little Debbie wasted."
Little Debbie wasted. Yes, I stole a box of my fudge rounds earlier. I'm sitting
you
in
can't
here.
go wrong
I
with
just
fudge rounds.
opened it up. I know. I haven't had one in probably 2 or 3 years.
What are those ones that
And
the
I
strawberry
just-
cream roll things? Man, that's where it's at for me.
I got them.
Yeah,
Oh man, I've got them.
dude.
I've got them. And I didn't think they'd be a big hit, but the kids who got those last year were freaking dancing off the porch. It's crazy. So this year I got a new.
Crack in each one of those.
So this year I've got a new Bose whatever sound thing that I've got some long cables. So I'm going to line the sidewalk up here with speakers, and online on the YouTubes there is a channel that you can click to play, and it does a beautiful reading, and by beautiful I mean creepy as hell, reading of The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to have that going. I'm just going to put it on a loop and let it play. And we're putting a canopy here inside, and we're going to have it all decorated so that my daughter got a hold of my house already a little bit.
Right.
But I'm trying to say, hey, you can decorate the holy hell out of this 10 by 10 area. That way, at the end of it, we just pack that up and it's gone.
Right. So my only rule with my current wife is she can decorate as much as she wants, anything she wants, as long as she's the one who puts it away at the end. So I have a couple strands of lights I put up outside. That's pretty much it for me. But she loves to decorate, so it works out well.
So she did the skeletons outside?
Yeah, she did those.
Oh, out there with all the thistle?
Have an art degree.
Yeah, she went to art school too.
She did?
She did.
You guys actually have something in common?
Well, a little bit.
It's making it harder and harder to sweep her away from here.
It's she can do better than either one of us. Let's face it. So,
Those are one.
Yep.
I'm making a trip to New York to trick or treat. Okay, there we go.
Keith, are you a
There's
big
comments
Halloween
going on
guy?
here. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, I'm back for a minute. Devin asked earlier about Rogue Energy. If you go to rogueenergy.com online, they've got an energy line and also a hydration line that doesn't have the caffeine in it. So
Nice.
that stuff is phenomenal. When I was remodeling my kitchen, my electrician came over, was very dehydrated. I said, "Here, try this," and he drank a bottle of water with a shot of that. And he goes, "Oh my God, this stuff is good." He goes, "It worked." I go, "Do you want another one?" He goes, "No, I'm good." He just went to work, and
That's
that was
awesome. So it's rogueenergy.com.
Yeah, it's
What's your code to use on that?
It would be Go
Laser beam.
Go Lasers.
Go
This is
Lasers.
Oh, that's it. Current wife.
Ah, okay.
So we have some newer viewers who don't know about the current wife.
Sabrina,
So,
yeah, that's it's a love, it's a term of
literally-
endearment.
We have new viewers.
So literally way back at our very first episode, West made a mistake. He made the mistake going, well, my current wife.
It was like
He
our
stopped.
it was like our first or second episode, and I'm
It
telling
was
this
first or
story
second episode.
about my
Yeah.
wife. I'm like, yeah, so my current wife, and I stop. I'm like, I really hope she's not watching right now, and she was watching.
Yes.
So that's what I call her
And she
now.
was.
So
Gentlemen, give me a minute. I got to talk to the team, and I will be back. If you need to, you can take me off. I'll be gone for a couple minutes.
Keith, make
No,
him
do your
relax.
thing, man. We could talk smack. Don't worry about it. Well, so I like Kim Howard's comment there too. If my husband called me his current wife, I'd poison his food.
Well, like, don't think my current wife hasn't thought about it. Every time she makes dinner, I'm like, I'm a little hesitant, but
Does this taste a little arsenic-y to you?
right?
God, every picture
Little
I see of
cyanide.
Dave Leffingwell, he looks high.
Well, that's an old picture.
I know, but he doesn't even look high. Like I just had.
What are you talking about?
I don't
Hey,
think
look,
David
drunk.
partakes. Kim, you would know. Do you think
just
David
looks
is
drunk all the time.
into extracurricular?
He's got
stuff?
that always,
I was literally just telling a coworker about the current wife thing. Okay, that's Devin.
That's funny.
Little bleach in the coffee maker, just a little touch. Dude,
I don't
your
know if
wife strikes me as somebody who I actually do
Would
that.
bleach in the
So
coffee
if I were
maker
you,
too?
I'd be careful.
No.
You would know
I
if
don't
you
know.
drank bleach, though. You would know if you drank bleach.
Real good.
I don't drink coffee, so you bleach coffee pot all
Yeah,
you
so
want.
I don't think it's bleach. You want to put rat poison in the coffee maker.
That really does damage the flavors.
Oh,
Actually, here's one. Here's one that
I can hear it now. Your Honor, I present as Exhibit A.
well, actually, no. Here's what you do: you get light bulb glass. You grind it up real small, like dust. Grind it up real good in a mortar and pestle. And what it does, and you sprinkle on the food. You put it in the salt. You put it in all the food, and it grinds up your insides. And before you know it, you're bleeding out your butt. You're dead.
That's great.
And this is Keith is really happy you joined this show.
Good job, Keith. Good.
Antifreeze
Great one, great one.
is
Antifreeze.
different.
Holy mother of Pete! All right, people. Okay, we're not
Antifreeze.
trying to
That's
off
good
our
to know.
partners right now.
Oh yeah.
Right now. Later in the show, maybe.
So also, yeah, it's a good thing my current.
I don't
wife isn't
think
watching the show.
my current wife is watching.
Yeah,
so
good to know. Devin
let's
Ross
see
said
here.
they put bitterant in it now, and that's actually a bad sign of the times when they have to put bad flavors in the antifreeze so you don't drink it.
Holy shit.
Well,
Here I go offering one of our mutual friends a free family photo shoot, and he's posting pictures from a photo shoot he paid for. What a dumbass.
Look,
That's it. No more free photo shoots.
Oh, no, she's watching.
$1,000.
everybody behave.
no soup for you,
Stop giving my wife ideas on how to kill me.
Nikki. Look, if you need ideas on how to kill David, just more
Keep watching, I guess.
butter, salt. Give him a second heart attack.
Yeah.
He's already had a second. He's probably working on a third.
Oh, Kim, you're married. Uh-oh. Sorry, Matt. Kim says, my husband lives with his girlfriend. Oh, wait, hang on. I didn't read the whole thing. Lives with his girlfriend.
That's why I was laughing.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. What?
Does he
He
still
didn't
count
read
as
all
my
that
current
before we started talking.
Yeah, sorry, Kim. I didn't read the whole comment before I put it on the screen.
My husband lives with his girlfriend. Does he count as my current husband?
Dan McDonald, my wife goes to sleep
I have some
watching...
highly inappropriate questions that goes along with that he can answer yes or no. But we're just going to go with no.
Look,
We're going to go with no.
look,
Let's just go with
it's
no.
the 21st century. Lots of things fly here.
Yeah.
I notice Keith isn't in a hurry
Yeah.
to get back to this show right now.
Hey, do you
I can't say I blame him.
Yeah.
Do you have do you sell biscuits?
I do sell dog
Can we
biscuits.
talk about those a minute?
We
with
could.
An open bag.
Matt really wants to eat some dog biscuits.
He wants to eat the dog.
Very good.
So what's his thought, Matt? What's your thought on the apple bacon?
I would need to try them.
You need to try more apple bacon. All right. All right.
So I think the apple crisp for human consumption is probably a little better. But the apple bacon, I mean, so I will tell you this, Lilo the other day, twice, not with me, but with the wife, the current wife, my first wife, she picked the apple crisp twice.
Yeah, well, so that's the funny thing is, and this is the pumpkin spice.
Oh, the new pumpkin?
The pumpkin spice, yes.
Oh, you forgot to give me pumpkin.
Oh, I forgot to give you the pumpkin
Oh,
spice.
that smells.
Son of a biscuit.
Good.
It's good. They're really good.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: is
What's
when
wrong?
people eat them, there's no sugar, so it's a real kind of almost bland flavor. But the smell is really where it's at, and a dog's sense of smell is like 10,000 times higher than a human's. And most of your sense of taste comes from your olfactory system, your sense of smell.
Yeah.
So
Your sense of smell.
So, I mean, dogs just go crazy for these things. Honestly, it's I'm gonna do a whole once I start doing videos.
White female dogs, Devin. White female dogs.
Do dogs even like pumpkin spice? Yeah, just the basic white dogs.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
What do you
Vicky
say about
says,
pumpkin spice?
Lilo is basic and bougie. She needs her pumpkin spice. And here's the thing: is and that's the funny thing. If you look at most like pet food and pet treats and stuff like that, most of the coloring and the way that they design the packaging, the smells, the flavors they add to it artificially are actually there to appeal more to the person than to the dog. So that's the thing about these treats. There's no artificial flavors. All of it's natural. No preservatives. No
All
artificial
natural.
coloring. Like all the weird like food, like dog food you get that has the oranges and the yellows and the reds and the greens. That's all artificial. They add that to make it
And
appealing
the
to
red
people.
balloons. I like the ones that have the red balloons.
The what?
That's the best.
Dog food that has red balloons?
It's the Lucky Charms, man. Come on, move on. You went through all the colors of the rainbow. I figured you
Oh,
were
heart
talking
stars,
about Lucky Charms
horseshoes,
at that point.
rainbows, and balloons.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's I
There you
believe
go.
me. I know Lucky the leprechaun. I got it runs in the family.
I have a joke.
Yeah.
Matt has a joke.
He's a cousin. He's your cousin.
So, you remember Dick Van Patten?
I know Dick Van Dyke.
No, Dick Van Patten used to beat his kids, but he'd only hit him 8 times because 8 is enough.
Ah, but was that guy? I know the TV show. Was that the guy from the TV show?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
It's a good thing you can't see me shaking my head. I'm off camera. That was
Yeah,
bad.
Keith.
Good joke.
This is
He just came back over and put his headset
this
on.
is why Keith walked
I
away
was just
from
going to
the
say he just didn't hit him enough.
So,
You got to learn something.
all right, I got to rat out myself here. My wife's been hobbling around for a couple weeks.
Uh-oh.
We went to put the cover on the pool,
Look at that.
and
You pushed her in?
No, it's much worse than that. I'm sitting there. I got this big iron rod or steel rod. I'm trying to get the hooks for the springs or for the covers on, and I've got it lined up, and I push it down, and it slips off. The spring shoots one way, and the metal pole shoots the other way, and cracks her right in the ankle.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah,
You did this?
yeah, and of course, yeah. So I felt terrible, and she got through. The doctors say it's all good, but I don't have to tell her. I don't have to tell her again. She's gonna come in here and hit me. So if you guys see a frying pan hit me,
Yeah.
just know I earned it.
It's true. Yeah.
I deserve it.
Well, that's never without.
No.
Yeah, we already know you earned it. So
I just got one.
Oh yeah.
It was almost apple in it. It was so good.
Oh, good. Awesome.
So freaking good.
Yeah, so I actually worked out a deal with a local orchard and to get all the produce I need, like forever for these things, which is awesome. My freezer over there is just packed full of apple pumice from a cider mill.
Oh, really?
It's because by the time I get approval to sell them from the Department of Agriculture, they'll have stopped making cider for the season. So I just stocked up.
I'll hear it.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited. Keith is taking care of business over there.
All right, I'm gonna go try and get us some more.
Devin Ross says, just see the frying pan.
To see the frying pan.
Huh?
I'm looking. I'm making sure she ain't coming in here.
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Keep an eye on her. She's right
yeah,
there.
Nikki, if you're still
She
watching,
moves too quick, and I start running.
Nikki, if you're still
So,
watching, Kim Howard.
I got one of my
dared
teams behind me. Come on over and say hello, guys.
Oh, is this your?
Just wave.
Oh, this is some of the team. All right.
Oh, hey guys.
What's happening, guys?
So they're going home to
late.
practice.
You guys should go out drinking.
So they play video games.
Hold on. One of the guys was great enough. His aunt made fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. He brought them in. They were still warm.
Oh man, now I am jealous.
So, and we ate too many of them, and we got really sluggish, and we lost our match tonight. But I'm going to put that down on the table, and Ben's going to take the rest of those home so that I don't gain another 3 pounds.
I want cookies.
You know what goes really good with bourbon is cookies. I need some cookies.
Yes.
And bourbon.
Chocolate and bourbon. Yeah. Chocolate and bourbon. Maybe I'll bring this home and have it under my gazebo later.
Right?
Take 2.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
It took a lot of
Ben
convincing.
said take 2, so I got 2.
All right.
Now you take the rest of them. You still got a dozen under there.
What? That's just too many. That's too many for one man to have.
Yeah, well, if you wanted to come up here, after they're gone, you could have brought that bottle of Eagle Rare, and then we could have sat here and had cookies and bourbon.
Have cookies and bourbon, and then play some video games after about half a bottle of bourbon. I would pay to watch that.
I could set that up.
That'd be pretty. That'd be pretty cool.
That seems like something we could do. Is we could get in here and do a head-to-head match on something. I don't know, something simple. It can't be complicated. I can't play Call of Duty.
Keith,
something
Keith,
easy.
What's your favorite game? Keith, what's your favorite game?
Guys, take care. Thank you. At home right now, I'm playing Modern Warfare.
You would completely destroy both David and I, even if both of us were against just you.
Yeah, it could be tough on one.
I have a lot of fun. I had a kid challenge me several years ago. He's like, you can't play this game. You're too old. I said, okay.
Mario Kart. There we go.
Everybody's favorite map on Call of Duty and Black Ops was the Nuketown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I actually know Nuketown. Okay.
Mike said, he goes, all right, come on, let's play Nuketown. So it was 1-on-1. We had like 6 spectators watching us play. And he got the first 2 kills, and then I spawned, and I saw him from upstairs in one of the houses. So I kept telling him, Mike, I'm behind you. And you would see his player turn and look. And I mean, I just got under his skin, and I wound up, he had the first 2 kills. I think I beat him 14-3.
Oh man!
So he finally just gave up. He's like, I can't play this anymore. I can't play this again.
That's awesome.
Are you telling me that I'm better than you? And no. I'm like, oh.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm specifically not going to say that.
Right.
Okay, so walk us through.
Devin Ross says he's down with Mario Kart,
man, because Mario Kart would be cool. Actually, Mario Kart makes sense to me, or Forza Motorsports or something. But
I personally, right now, at home play console. But I do have one of our beautiful Alienware R13 Aurora computers at home that I'm trying to learn how to use the keyboard and mouse with. So
that's awesome.
So what's the specs? What's the specs on a computer like that you guys use?
Let's see. These we ordered last year. We initially had spec'd out 10 of them because I didn't think I was going to get the funding for the purchase that we did. And when our new college president came in, he said, well, what's the biggest purchase that anybody in esports has made? I said, well, right now it's SUNY Canton. They bought 25 Alienware computers and monitors. And he goes, okay, 25 sounds good. Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm like, well, before the educational discount and our bulk discount for the college, we spent about $100,000 on 25 computers.
Holy cow.
So these are Alienware Aurora R13s. The new ones are the R15s. We went with the Intel processors, 12700s that overclock at 5.1 gigahertz.
So is that the 9 or the 7?
These are the i7s.
Okay.
We have GeForce 3070 graphics cards or GPUs. We have 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM running at 4400. They're liquid cooled. All the RGB lighting. Because I worked in the AV
We
department.
welcome all lighting here. We welcome all lighting.
Oh, sure. LED, LGB, whatever.
That's right. All of the lighting, it's all welcome here.
But it was nice that our acting CIO said, "Yeah, Keith knows what he's doing." He goes, "We'll back whatever you want to get." So
all right, good.
That's what we did.
So
all right, so what games are your teams in right now? What groups of teams do you have?
I have 4 intercollegiate teams that are playing. 2 in Tier 1, which is called the Premier Series, and 2 in Tier 2, that is called the Contender Series. Thank you. My sister, yeah. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know crap around here. Our 2 Tier 1 teams are League of Legends and Valorant, and our 2 Tier 2 teams are Rainbow Six Siege and Overwatch 2.
So
okay.
Real quick
We
though.
also offer Tier 3 stuff that's all intramural. And when you say intramural, a lot of college kids go, "Oh yeah, I remember playing 3-on-3 intramural. I played against all the kids in the school." This is different because we actually play against all the other colleges in the United States. So there's 140 plus colleges, junior colleges, because we're in a 2-year degree program, that play esports. So we have one kid who plays Super Smash Brothers, and he plays on the intramural circuit. He was 12-0 our first semester. He was the intramural champion.
Wow.
Nationwide. He played against 138 kids.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And won, undefeated.
West and I.
Arizona University for the title. So, it's a lot of fun. It's just getting these kids together, and they think,
right.
Intramural is just different because you don't have to be a qualifying full-time student. You can be part-time. You can be remote. I mean, all of our Tier 3 players play remote because we only have 24, 25, computers in the arena. But we have 97-ish kids on the roster. So a lot of the kids play from home. They play from their dorm. Any type of remote situation. But they can all come in and practice whenever we have open hours. If there's an open computer, they can pop in and sit down and start playing and practicing.
So real quick, I tried to ask the question at the beginning, and David shut me down because he had to find out what I was drinking. Can you just, for those who don't, people can come back later and watch this or listen to this. Can you just quickly explain the basics, like esports? What is esports? How do you get into it? Where do you coach? And kind of what does this program look like?
First of all, I coach at a small community college in Syracuse, New York. It's called Underdog Community College, named after our county. And the college started in 1967, I believe was the first graduating class. We were in Midtown Plaza, downtown, in an old building that's now a warehouse. They built the college campus up here on Onondaga Hill, which is beautiful. It's a 245-acre campus. And we're in a remodeled room that used to be a teaching kitchen for the hospitality management students. We were given this room and the construction funds to go with it, so we were able to cover up some doors and take care of some stuff and drill through the floors and run all our cable and whatnot, and kind of make it our own space.
Tell us about the esports.
The first year that they announced that we were going to do this, we didn't have the facility, so all the kids knew that they were going to be playing from home. It was a remote thing, so every night we had a game, I was on my phone in the Discord with the students, talking to them about what was going on. They would stream so I could watch part of the game as I call time out. And we did well. We won the intramural Valorant title, and we won the intramural Super Smash Brothers title, playing remotely without anything on campus. We started out our first semester with about 44 students playing games. Actually had one come in and tell me that he was leaving. He had gotten a scholarship to play Rocket League at University of Buffalo. So he thought I was going to be mad at him. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's what I'm here for. This is a 2-year degree program. We want to get you out the door and going on. And God bless you if you can get a scholarship for playing video games.
Really?
But it was great. The students that came in the first year, they had some reservations because they're used to playing with their friends or just going in with a bunch of randoms and their video games. And actually, the young man that brought in the cookies today was one of my biggest opponents that first semester. He said, "What do you think you're going to teach me about this game?" And I said, "Well, how long have you been playing Valorant?" He said, "Since it started." And I said, "Okay, and how old are you now?" He said, 18. I said, "Okay, so let me ask you this." I said, "If you were playing basketball and you were coming to college as an 18-year-old, are you going to look at your coach and say, 'Hey, coach, when are you going to teach me how to make a free throw?'" No. You already know more about these games than I do. I said, "But I'm going to teach you strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to teach you how to work as a team. I'm going to teach you how to communicate. And I'm going to teach you that you need to rely on the other 4 people on your squad just as much as they're going to rely on you."
Mm-hmm.
And after that first semester, when we won the intramural championship, Ben was the first one that came up to me. He didn't even get to play in the finals. He came up, he goes, "Coach," he goes, "I'm sorry, man." He goes, you were absolutely right. He goes, "You taught me how to communicate with one of my teammates." And that's what I look at it as more, these kids know what they're doing with the video games. That's one of the reasons, they have, the NJCAA offers Madden, as one of the game titles. And kids come in all the time, like, "Can we sign up for Madden?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll offer this tier 3, but I'm not going to have an intercollegiate team for that." "Well, why not?" I said, "Because it's one-on-one." I said, "I'm not going to teach you anything about that. So, we'll just go with it." And the kids understand that if I can't help them with any of that, it's just basically letting them come in and play on a $4,000 computer.
Right.
So they're pretty good about playing remotely. Oh, we just found out that one of my former, well, he's still listed on the roster. He actually doubles as our college mascot, Blaze. One of my players is getting a scholarship offer or possibly getting a scholarship offer from Cornell University.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
so,
great.
It's a great feeling. That's what I want. I want to come up with a 2-year degree program for esports management. As the community college in Syracuse, New York, we're a direct feeder school for Syracuse University, and they're coming up with a 4-year degree program in esports management. And all of our credits that any student takes in any degree program can transfer to SU, and all those credits will transfer. So if we can come up with a 2-year degree program, a lot of our students here are not the type of student, whether it be grade-wise or money-wise, it would be able to go to a 4-year degree school like Syracuse University at $68,000 or $70,000 a year for 4 years. But if they can get in here at $6,500 a year, and get their 2 years worth of credits that will transfer to Syracuse, that makes it not only more affordable, but it also makes a school like Syracuse look at the students that may be coming out of New York City that we have living up here, or the inner city kids that are the first one in their family to go to college, and say, "You know what? You kept your grades up, you did what you needed to do, and you can get a scholarship for video games." So it sounds kind of weird, but when you have pilots flying drones,
right? Yeah,
with an Xbox controller, and cars are now being come with joysticks instead of steering wheels.
Right.
Things change, and you're not going to stop it, but it's still, we're at a point up here where acceptance from the students is great, but the acceptance from the, do I dare say, traditional athletes, is still kind of suspect. As even with the athletics department that we're under the umbrella of, they don't think that that this is going to be a serious thing. But when they look at the numbers, they're like, "Man, you guys you're really drawing the kids in." I'm like, "Now we need a reason to keep them. They're going to come in and play the video games, but we got to have the degrees. If they're studying something that they're passionate about, you're going to retain a student. And you have to be a student before you can be a student athlete. Where that's one thing that we're very adamant up here about. I had 4 kids on my intercollegiate teams that we've released because they haven't been going to class.
Ah, okay.
Well, you know what? You have to be a student first. If you're not going to be a student, you can't be a student athlete. So.
Yeah, and with technology, you can't put the
football probably wasn't taken seriously at first either. So yeah.
Right, Devin had a great comment there.
Devin does not have a good point. Do not take it. Football is the best.
Well, what about basketball? Who's going to throw this round horsehide thing through a peach basket?
Nobody's got time for foosball, but
Sounds ridiculous.
I would. But
Sounds
with
ridiculous.
technology, you can't put
Even
the genie
today.
back in the bottle. And you're right, with all the technology that is controlling our lives now. I mean, gaming is second nature. I mean, my kids are 6 and 8. They can hop on a laptop or a tablet or a phone and use it. It's just intuitive to them. They just automatically know how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And more and more of the technology, the functional real world technology that we use is congruent with a lot of these games and the way that they're built. You mentioned the military and their drones, but I mean the military themselves run through combat scenarios using similar gaming engines to what you guys use when you play.
Yep. We also have the regional.
I don't. I'm saying you can't.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's a great comment there, Bobby Boucher.
We had we are lucky enough to have the regional police academies up here for not only the Syracuse Police Department but for the Onondaga County Sheriff's Department. And last year, Syracuse Police Department called me up and they're like, "We need some AV help." And I said, "Well, what do you need help with?" And they said, "Well, we're trying to hook something up and we can't get into the network." And I said, "Well, that's not really my thing. We're going to have to get you through network." And they're like, "Well, why don't you just come down and see if you can help us out?" So I walk into their training room and they're all sitting there with these $700 Vive virtual reality headsets on. I'm going, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "Well, we've got a shooting scenario and it's for practice." And I was like, "If I get you up and running, I want to play." "Oh yeah,
Of course.
Like, okay, great. So, I actually did get them into the network and I got their programs downloaded and they were like, "Okay, just let us know when you want to come over and we'll, give you one of the headsets for an hour or something." I'm like, "All right, cool." So, that was great. I got to put the headset on and act like I was running through a city and that was in like martial law. And you just had to be careful. You didn't shoot the civilians. You only had to shoot the bad guys. But
That is cool.
I did that.
If they're outside under martial law, they're all bad guys, right? And that
Well,
was
that's what I'm
supposed to
Yeah, that's a fair point.
That's what I said.
Kids, old ladies, I get it. So Keith,
They
how
said
did
you killed. They said you killed four people, and I was just like, "Well, I killed everybody."
only
They're like,
kill
"Yeah,
the
but you're only
zombies?
supposed to kill the bad guy." I go, "That's it." And I did use that argument. I said, "Well, it's martial law, right?" "Yeah." I said, "Nobody's supposed to be outside." Well, they had to go. I'm like, no. And they're like, "Oh, you do have a point." So
Yes.
Technically.
All right. So Keith, we two things: don't become a cop,
Yeah, no.
Nope.
and two, West and I have actually been in a Smash Brothers tournament.
We were there. We each
We
played
were there.
one
We
game.
played. We played. We lost very quickly, very badly,
to a bunch of teenagers.
very badly. But,
they were probably like what 9-year-olds.
well, the people who won were a little older, but we got absolutely slaughtered. So one thing I can tell you for sure, West and I are good at a lot of things. That is not one of them.
No, the hand-eye coordination is lacking.
So to have one of your people win the intramural championship across the entire country, that is badass because I know how complicated that. To me, that is a button mashing game.
I
You
got to
just
tell you
mash
this.
buttons and hope for the best.
I got to tell you this. Derek came in here for playoffs. And
It was Steven and it was so hold on a second. It was Steven and it was Steven and Mark. Steven and Mark won. Devin Ross asked, so I had to answer him.
A couple guys we know.
Oh
who
no,
are at
you're
the
fine. You're
competition.
fine. Derek, who is our champion, came in here. So the first round of playoffs that day was actually scheduled when they scheduled the Smash Brothers playoffs because it was like the top 32 players, and they wanted to narrow it down to like the final 4 before the last day. So they had to play like 5 or 6 matches. He sat down at the computer, hooked up his Switch. We gave him a monitor, and he plugged into the network. And sorry, Derek, it's 6 o'clock. You got to queue in. He's like, "Yep, I'm all set." So he queued in. 5 minutes later, he had his match. And I turned around, I looked, and it was like 6:15. And he's sitting on his phone, and I'm like, "Derek, did you queue in?" "Yeah, I'm done." "What do you mean you're done?" I said, "It's a best of 7. He goes, "Yeah, I know. I won 4 games already." I go, "In 6 minutes?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, okay. His parents were here watching him and rooting for him and everything. And I was like, I got to watch this next round. So the next round started like a half hour later. He queued in. And literally, you got to push the guy off the platform like 3 times or kill him or whatever. And it's like, dude, he was boom, 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 dead. Boom, 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 dead. I'm like, wow.
It's insane how good some of these people are.
And he's leaning over going, and it's like, and then we stop and I'm like, I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, that match started at 6:45. It's 6:53. What the hell? He's just, incredible player. And, his parents, from the moment that they came up here, when we gave him his certificate and his plaque, and they've been on board. They went out and bought. We opened up a merchandise store for all of our esports players, and said, you can go and order whatever you want. You have everything sent direct to your house. And his mom ordered a sweatshirt, a T-shirt.
Cool.
And she got a shirt for the dad. And they come up on campus every once in a while, and you see them walking around with their esports stuff on. So it's pretty cool.
Do you still have that shop open so we can put a link?
We are opening another one, and I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the month so that we can stay open for a week or two, and then, or hopefully 2 weeks, and then still be able to get merchandise to everybody by Christmas.
That's cool. If you get a link to that, let us know. We'll shoot it out there. I want to get a T-shirt.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Seriously.
The T-shirts are cool too. They say Lasers Esports on them, and the center of the O is actually a PS5 controller.
Oh, that's awesome. So I have a question. So, you listed some of the games that you guys play against other national teams.
Yep.
But new games come out all the time. How do you decide, like, oh, this game is, 5, 10 years old, I'm not going to play that anymore, and we're going to play this one instead? Or do you get, like, updated versions of these same games? Like, how do you decide what new games to play when old ones just kind of let go?
Well, being part of the NJCAA, which is, it's the Junior Collegiate Athletic Association for Electronics, they set the parameters for the games that we're going to play.
So they pick the games.
Yes. So the biggest problem that I have with the sports games is that when I get kids, especially coming in here for community college, restricted budget, low income families, I'm not going to sit there and tell them, well, you know what? You want to play FIFA, which is now EAFC because FIFA dropped the endorsement. But they're going to switch that in the middle of the semester.
Right.
I wonder why they did that.
So now I don't know, but they gave up $150 million in endorsement fees. So apparently they didn't need it. The biggest thing though is like Madden. This fall they were still playing Madden 23. Well, Madden 24 is out now. So in January for the spring semester, the students have to buy another game.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like. And if they're playing on computer, I can't download it. They have to have it so that they can sign into their account. I didn't think that was really prudent. I don't like when they switch over. If they had said, okay, we'll play 23 through the spring semester, that's one game that the student has to have. When all of a sudden now you got to ask for it for Christmas. Well, come on. I mean,
can they add that?
It doesn't make sense.
Can they pay for that with like student loan money potentially if they're using it for school purposes, like a school team? No, can't do that.
No.
So the games are decided by this other body, and occasionally that does happen, like mid-semester or something. They'll have to switch over. Which is nature of the beast.
Yeah. So we try to stay away from games that we know are going to switch, like Madden, FIFA. NBA 2K is huge, but I told them, I said, in the 2-year degree program schools, when you're telling kids that they have to go and they have to buy the licenses for these new games, I'm like, that's anywhere from $70 to $100 a pop.
It gets expensive.
I'm like, I don't think it's fair for the students to have to do that because they're paying to come here. We can't give them a scholarship, to come and play at a 2-year school. So, I think that's one of the reasons that we've stuck more with Valorant and League of Legends. League of Legends was a fiasco. We had kids that came here the first year.
I've never even heard of that. So what is League of Legends? That's something I haven't heard of.
Let me think here. It's kind of like a cross between.
Is it like the first Ninja Turtles arcade game?
It's actually
I do remember
the graphics
that
actually look
game.
amazing. It looks really good. I've never played it, but it looks like a lot of fun.
It's a 5-man squad, and they each have basically a certain. Well, they have a certain reason for being on there. There's 3 lanes. It's basically a big battlefield.
Okay, so it's a battle. It's a battle game.
Yeah, it's more of like an old world type battle game where you have 3 definitive lanes. So you have a top lane, a bottom lane, in the center, and you'll have 3 characters or three people that play on those battle lanes. So you have a top, you have a bottom, and a mid. You have 2 roamers. One's a support player, and one is called the jungle because everything in the middle is kind of murky. But they will lend support to any one of those rows. And what you do is you have to try to get back to your opponent's home base before the opponent gets to yours. And there's
so it's kind of a
blockades
capture the
and
flag
that type of
type scenario.
Yeah.
So what's the actual name of this?
League of Legends.
So, Keith, while he's looking that up, my main exposure to esports is the 1989 film Wizard with Fred Savage. So if they came to you and said, this semester, you're going to have to compete using Super Mario Brothers 3, is everybody just like, yes? No? Or they
Yeah,
just
we would definitely have some kids that that would be into that. Matter of fact, my Rainbow Six team last week, while they were waiting in the queue, they're like, if we don't get an opponent, let's go play CSGO.
Right.
And I'm like,
What is that?
no. CSGO was actually it was a primitive precursor to Valorant. It's a 5-man, like a covert operations. You know, one team has to go and plant the bomb, and the other one has to defuse it. And
Okay.
protect the
So
site.
I'm not even 100% sure what Valorant is either, which
Well,
I believe
Valorant-
you've explained to
Valorant-
me at least 3 times.
Valorant's the same idea. It's a 5-man squad where you have one team on defense and one team that's attacking, and the attacking team has to plant what's called the spike or the bomb at a bomb site. And the other, if they get it planted, the other team has to be able to defuse it before the timer goes off.
Devin Ross says CSGO is like
Yeah.
Valorant mixed with Call of Duty. And Devin, you didn't help David at all, or myself.
Yeah. Oh, I
No,
know what Call of Duty is. I'll tell you. Here's a game. If I could get some people to play this, I would stay up late for this.
What is this?
Monopoly.
It was called Warlords Battle Cry. Way back when.
Okay.
And this was back when you had to have, you sat in a room with all your computers and you LAN networked them together. And that's how you played. It wasn't online. It was through the internet, but not the internet. It was just a local area connection.
So it was
kind of like we used to do with the Xboxes.
So it was like competitive Oregon Trail.
Yeah, but basically you had you could build
competitive Bard's
You developed
Tale.
armies. You had Warlords Battle Hearts. Hashtag Minesweeper.
Yeah, competitive Minesweeper. That's the depth that we get.
Yes, Devin. Most of what we play, the Valorant especially is like search and destroy.
So Keith, how did you get
Seek
into
and
this?
Destroy. I'm a Metallica fan over here, man. We're going to use Seek and Destroy instead.
We're putting Matt to sleep. It's a very exciting show.
Yeah, we'll
Thanks
see
for
later.
stopping by, Matt.
It's not the show.
Dude.
It's my blood.
You sure it's us? It's not all that bourbon that he's stealing from you?
It's all
Yeah,
the dog treats and bourbon. That's literally all he's had to eat all day. Dog treats and bourbon.
Dog
See you later,
treats
man.
and bourbon.
So Keith, how did you get into this? How did you get into coaching esports?
Yeah. Yeah. And so I know you work the AV part. That is an interesting question. Did they come to you and be like, let's do this?
No.
If somebody who doesn't know is like a big gamer and they've played competitively and they're like, this sounds pretty cool, I kind of want to get into coaching.
When the college announced that they were going to be having a couple more of my gamers are coming in.
All right. Have them come by and say hi.
They just asked if Valorant was still playing, and we said no. They went, oh, okay. A couple of brothers. They both play on a couple of my teams. When the athletic director, it was funny. We had an open house, and when athletics came up, all the kids that were not traditional sport players immediately started doing this with their phone, and texting their friends and everything. And Mike said, he goes, and we're also looking into having an esports team. And they went,
Huh? The ears go whoop.
Esport?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it was just like the antennas. The dogs went what? So they announced that, and I said, I haven't heard anything about that. I said the infrastructure for that's going to be a nightmare if they don't, plan for it. And then they said it
The
again.
AV guy. Yep.
Yeah, they said it again, and they put out an announcement through HR that they were going to be looking for their first head coach. And I went,
Now, were you a big gamer
Things
before
that
this?
make you
I
go.
said, I'd like a hand in building it. I
Yeah.
said, I'd like more money for it, but we'll see what happens. So, I put my resume in, and Mike called me, and he said, I was really happy to see your name come across my desk. He said, because I know of your experience with AV. He said, I know you like gaming, and you have an interest in all this stuff. So we sat down, and he asked me about students, and I said, obviously I'm a firm believer. I've been here at the college for almost 25 years now in my AV capacity. And I've said, I understand you have to be a student first to be a student athlete. I said, the emphasis is on academics. This is all, fluff and candy. This is all, the awards and whatever, the spoils of war.
You had me at fluff and candy.
Which was really funny
Spoils
because
of war.
I had you at anything. I had you at bourbon at the beginning of the show. You better put those away because I'm going to show up at your house.
If you don't put them away, David, you got to
Hey,
share them. That's the rule.
I'm saving them. I got one for you. I got one for you. I got one for me. I got one for Matea, and I got one for Aaron if he comes back up here.
Awesome. But when they made the announcement, Mike said that they wanted to hire me as the first esports coach. And I said great, and I started. My first day was June 1st of last year.
Okay.
We didn't have the arena. We didn't have a room picked out. We didn't have anything. We didn't have computers. Nothing. So June 1st, our semester started the last week of August, and Mike came to me and said, "Okay, so." We got to register for tournaments and for our competition this fall. And I was like, okay, where are we going to compete from? And he said, well, we have a student lab in athletics that, fit like 10, 12 people in. And I go, okay, well, we got to order computers. He goes, well, there's computers in there. I go, no. You can't play on it.
Like 1990 Tandies. Yeah.
4 gigs of RAM and, and then like this 32 gig hard drive. I'm like, no, this doesn't work. I'm like, we have to spec out computers. I said, we have to get all the infrastructure. I said, the students can't play on wireless. They all got to be hardwired. Mm-hmm. So he's like, well, I go, so you haven't approached anybody in IT for any of the support for all of this stuff. And he's like, well, no, but you can do that, right?
Sure. Anybody could just jump in there and do that. No problem.
Sure. So our first year, we had actually contracted with an off-site company to basically host all of our games, and they were going to have a server that was sent to the site, and everything was going to be run from that. They were going to update it every day, mm-hmm. So all the game updates would be done, and every computer would be started off of that one image. And apparently, they didn't know how to work with Windows 11 because they didn't get us our computers back in time. So we competed the first year remotely. We didn't have a space anyway, but we started construction and we started doing all this stuff. And then when they were supposed to get us our computers and everything for the beginning of the semester, I said, competition starts the first week in February. We got to have these computers back. Well, we can probably get them to you the week after that. I'm like, that's not going to help me. I'm like, we're going to spend another semester remote. And we had most of the computers here. So our IT department stepped in and said, well, we can support you. I said, okay. So they hired a guy who actually had set up another facility in Syracuse, mm-hmm. and son came in and started doing all this work. And then he wanted to work remotely from home because there was no reason that he couldn't. But the college said no. And he goes, well, I've got, 2 young kids. I'd like to spend some time at home with them. And they said, yeah, well, we're not going to do that. He said, okay. And it just so happened that his old job offered him a position back
remote
for more money.
Yep.
So he was like, yeah, I'm going to go back to them, and kind of left us high and dry. So it's been a lot of fun trying to figure a lot of this crap myself. By ourselves. Jeff has been instrumental in getting a lot of this stuff running. We've ordered some equipment that we've got with a grant, and mm-hmm. Jeff has kind of like he's dived right into the streaming aspect and getting the kids online with Twitch and setting up a lot of the websites, doing all of our public relations, basically. And because of the office that he works in with the registrar, if there's a problem that we have with students with low grades or not attending class, we'll get the notifications, and he'll send out a message to them and, just say, hey, touch base with us and make sure that everything is good. If you need help, let us know and we'll see what we can do. And that's a lot of fun because as a community college, we have a lot of non-traditional students. So we have one gentleman who is on the Overwatch team who's 49. Spent,
really?
6 years, I believe, in the military. Came home. He's originally from New York City, and Ray showed a lot of promise. So next semester we're starting another Overwatch team. So we'll have 2 tier 2 teams in Overwatch, and he'll be playing on that team on one of the tank roles. And it's just,
Is he a student?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, full-time student, came back, job retraining, that type of thing. And we have another gentleman who, unfortunately, had a semester with a 0.0, and everybody's like, how do you do? And I always thought the same thing. Whenever I saw low grades like that, I'm like, how?
Well, 0.0, you're not even showing for a class. Like, you get some points just for showing up.
Signing your name on papers.
Yeah.
But Rodney told us. He goes, I knew that there was going to be a problem with it. He said, I was trying to get that semester back. He said, I registered for classes full time, and the day we started classes, he said, my wife gave birth to our first child.
Oh, yeah.
So I was spending time at home, so I tried to withdraw, and they didn't let me. So he goes, I knew I was going to have issues with that. So, but he's great. He was trying out for the League of Legends team, and he was on the team. We had to take him off the roster, but when he found out that we were getting a stream deck and we were going to be doing, play-by-play, he's like, well, I'd like to do that. So if I can at least be part of the team and, commentate and, do that stuff. So, it's great that, and Ray was the same way with Overwatch. I said, we have a starting 5 and we have at least one sub that's going to play. I said, so your position is probably going to be more of like a practice squad type player. But the goal is to work on your abilities in the game with the first team and then carry that through for next semester. And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely. He said, you get 100% from me, whether I'm in the game or on the bench. So
So Keith, you built this program from the ground up, right? From the very ground up. I have a business idea for you.
Of course
I do. I always have business ideas. Check this out.
Look, you got a business idea for us, Jeff.
You started this program from the ground up, right? You decided the technology that needed to be there, the space, how it needed to be developed. We've
already outgrown it, by the way.
All of that stuff.
So.
You're going to have streaming coming in the near future so people can watch you online as you guys play. Why doesn't somebody start a business where they cater to schools who are trying to develop a program from the ground up, or other organizations who are trying to develop this? You come in, you say, okay, you need X, Y, and Z technologies, you need A, B, and C, pieces of technology in place to make this happen. We can organize all of this for you, make the purchases for you. We can even apply for grants and apply for other sources of income for you based on what you want to achieve. Like, there is real potential for a business there, considering this is a big growing industry. This is a burgeoning industry.
Esports gaming consulting.
Well,
we'll find a cool branded name for you if you want to do this. But like, Keith, I'm telling you, with your experience,
the 2 biggest suppliers of equipment for esports right now are Extron, which is out of Anaheim, California,
right,
and Crestron.
See, you know this.
I know Crestron.
You know this, but Joe Blow over here trying to start a team might not know this.
Both of them already offer gaming service and design and all of that.
Well, they're not marketing it well because we didn't know that.
Well, no, they're not. But I'll tell you what, I took advice from a gaming professional when we started this, and I wasted a lot of money in technology. Well, I mean, it wasn't mine, so I didn't care. But
whoa, you don't say that online, bud. Penny pinching.
That was the bourbon talking. You shouldn't say that stuff, Dave. It's not that we wasted the money. We have the technology. It's just there were better avenues.
Your return on investment wasn't what you were hoping for.
Right. Better way to put it.
We've learned a lot of
That's
things.
how you say that in business
the hard
speak.
way.
But right,
We
so
learned a lot of things the hard way.
you've learned from all these mistakes, which makes you a prime candidate to start a business to do this for other people. Devin Ross, by the way, says his buddy bought a Stream Deck. Says the best purchase ever made. Devin, we have a Stream Deck, and it's great. When we actually get the chance to use it, it's a fantastic purchase. We recommend it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking about buying another one to put on this side, and I don't know why, but I think it'd be cool. Mainly because I'm gonna be doing.
Well, David, your plans, you're going to have multiple cameras at
in
your
future.
new studio you're developing.
Yeah.
So that's going to be perfect. So Keith,
Yeah, so once I get some,
Nice.
for a young person who says, "Yeah, I'm a gamer,"
Keith, don't worry about it. You'll be helping me build it.
so
Oh, I'm sure.
for a young person or even like an old dude who says, "I game all the time. This is what I do. I love to game. It's fun. I want to get into competitive esports." How would one do that? Would they start
The
at like a
biggest
school like
hurdle-
yours? Would they start like trying to track down a team and prove their medal? What would they do?
You know, when he's doing that,
Do they have to challenge you to a dance fight?
I know
the
you're
street?
having the cookie.
I'm gonna
You're having a cookie.
Dave.
He's having the good bourbon. I'm jealous.
go, cookies, Dave.
Dude,
Chocolate chip cookies
Weller
and bourbon,
Weller 12-year Keith.
You know what goes
Yeah.
good with Weller 12 year is chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
It's true.
I'm going to find out how well these go with Calumet when I get home.
So I got one of their blends. I got their 15 and their 12-year, I think, over there.
We just went way off topic because Wes asked me a question. I was trying to
He's trying to be professional, David.
The bourbon.
I'm not even trying. I don't even pretend
No,
anymore.
I don't care. See, Wes, you need a new co-host here.
You're telling me.
The problem with, or the biggest hurdle for somebody getting into competitive esports is finding an avenue to host the games or somebody that hosts the games. Like for me, it was easy because we're part of the National Junior Collegiate Athletic Association. It just made sense for us to join the National Junior Collegiate Athletic Association for esports. They set the guidelines. They set the rule package for each game. No,
I'm sorry, guys. I was just looking at how much darker the 12-year
He
was.
wasn't showing off. He wasn't showing off.
I wasn't
He was just
showing off.
what a
I
great
was just
bourbon.
sidetracked. I was just sidetracked about how much darker the 12-year is.
He wasn't saying, "Hey, look at my
the other
monocle while I gauge how good my bourbon is compared to your swill, West."
You got freaking tin cup. That's delicious.
It's fair. It's
Yeah,
fair.
both of us.
It's not
you
a
got
12-year
Keith and
Weller.
I-
It's
we're
not a
both
12-year Weller,
coming
but it does.
to-
It does well.
to defend it. Okay,
It's not
I'll
fresh
tell you
baked
what.
chocolate chip cookies, but it
But
is.
if I was at home, you'd see I've got the 7, I've got the 10, and the 14. So
That 14,
Here
I'm
comes one of my
jealous.
favorites.
I didn't get the first bottle of 14. I got the second bottle coming. I ordered one. I didn't get this first.
I might put that away. I
saved
told
that.
Dave I wasn't going to open it until he came over, but
So what time you get home tonight? I might drive down there.
it depends on how long you guys keep me online. I can be there in 20 minutes.
All right. So and that's
the end of the show,
I've been
everybody.
Dave, I've been West. It's been
I'll
Dave.
even wrap up these cookies and bring them home for you.
Oh man!
And we're gone.
See,
And we're gone.
I'm a good guy.
So,
No, it's tough because you can find an avenue to go out and play the games, but to find something that's competitive, like the platform that we use with the NJCAA, they host all their games through a company called Generation Esports that set up the matches. And Generation Esports is now proliferated down. They have a high school league, and they're also starting middle school.
High school and middle
So
school, like
it's-
actual schools
hold
have
on,
these in
hold
their
on,
schools.
Hold on.
That's insane to
Yep.
me.
I'm not as smart as you people, so I'm going to need you to clarify. When you keep saying about hosting these, do they have their own dedicated servers to where basically the
Yes.
matchmaking and all? Okay, all
Yeah.
right. That's where I was getting lost because I'm just thinking like, all right, you're setting up a private match here, you're setting a private match there, and then
No.
you guys are going through it. You guys are going through a dedicated server just
yeah.
for this. Okay,
Generation Esports is partnered with the NJCAA. So they run the
nice.
2-year program for the colleges. They run the HSEL, the high school E-League, and then they run certain middle schools. And it's all broken up into region. So if you're playing in a high school league, you're playing with more like in the Northeast, you're playing against schools up here. The problem that we ran into our first year in collegiate is that we would sign in, and especially for playoffs, we were playing against teams on the West Coast. So with the 3-hour time difference, they're signing in at 6 o'clock, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can play all night." I'm like, "It's already 9 o'clock here," and I'm like,
They can play
"No,
all
we're
night,
not
not
playing
you."
all night."
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just out there. That time frame, that time switch from going back and forth across the country whipped me pretty good last week.
Oh, sure. And it's nice because the kids are getting the exposure earlier. So by the time they get to the high school or the collegiate ranks, they know what they're doing and they know how to do this. But Generation Esports, that queuing system, what they'll do is they'll create a league, and you sign up for the league. And once you have a full roster and you're registered, then every week at a certain game time on a certain game day, you'll go in and you click on that queue, sign into the queue. It goes active exactly on the hour or half hour that your game is supposed to start. And then 5, 10, or 15 minutes later, depending on which division you're in, it will create a match with another opponent. And you go in, you'll set up the room and you say, okay, here, let's do this. And there you go.
So Dan McDonald had a great comment here. Now the question is, how do they do they allow hacking or special controllers, or do they keep it at a level that players on the same? So basically, like with certain games, you can have mods on your machine that can allow you to sort of cheat in certain ways, or certain controllers that you can that let you do certain things that other players might not be able to do.
Yeah, I
How
know.
do they control,
I know. I mean, it's probably not a.
How do they
probably
control
not a cheat,
that sort
but
of
I
activity?
know.
Well,
Yeah,
some of the games are only available on PC, and PC actually has more of an opportunity to set up like hotkeys and quick moves and whatnot. A lot of my students will actually recognize if somebody's using that.
How do they can they tell themselves? Can they say, "Oh, that person has like this thing enabled that lets them see through walls or something"? Because I know that like with streaming games, like there's always controversies. Like some streamer was using a cheat code that let them see through walls or auto target stuff like that.
That's what ended it for me was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. There was so much hacking and cheating going on in that.
How do they control
That's when I gave up and walked away.
Yeah.
I was at the top of the game. Actually, I sucked back then.
The nice thing is, obviously, we ordered our computers all together for the school, so the students play here. We have control over that. My League of Legends team was playing last week or the week before, and our team leader noticed that one of the kids was using macros because of his comments in the chat, in the game chat. He's like, "Turn the macro off." And the kid's like, "What?" He goes, "Turn your macro off." He goes, "You're trying to alt this key." He said, "But you're sending a message." He goes, that means that you're trying to use a macro.
He typed in the macro.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, so I didn't.
But if he didn't type it in wrong, how would he have been caught? Like, is this a real problem in the sport?
Well, my team.
This is like doing steroids.
He was coming out of high school. He was the number 2 player in New York State. So he kind of knows.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Do you use this stuff at home?" He goes, once in a while. But he goes, "I don't."
I've never juiced before in my life.
It's not fun because it's just
right. But like
you got an unfair advantage.
But like in a regulated league, right? Like in real life sports like basketball or football, you can test for steroids. I'm not saying I'm not denigrating. I'm saying like in a physical sport like
right.
football or basketball, you can test for steroids, right? But how can you?
Well, you can test for steroids here too.
But by the way, they don't put steroids in Rogue Energy Drink. Is it Rogue?
Rogue Energy.
Rogue Energy.
Go to rogueenergy.com and type in "Go Lasers" today.
This is black cherry lemonade.
That does sound. Let's put some vodka in that. You got yourself a cocktail.
I was going to go with rum.
The cans, they have black cherry lemonade. They have cotton candy. What's the strawberry one?
Cotton candy could be good.
Strawberry Crush and Tropical Fusion.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Tropical Breeze.
Sorry. Oh, Adderall. Dan McDonald says Adderall is banned in esports, but energy drinks are okay. That's pretty funny.
Yes, they are. The more caffeine, the better.
Hey, so by the way, what's the most popular energy drink on your team? So here's the thing. Apparently, so back in the day, back when I used to do some sort of quasi gaming, It was balls, BAWLS, balls, not balls, but balls.
Yeah, Wes
And
loves
it's made
the
with
balls.
caffeine and like guarana, and like it would like have you bouncing off the walls. What is
Our favorite, our most
Oh,
popular
it's following you. There you go.
is Gatorade G Fuel.
Gatorade G Fuel.
Follow me.
G Fuel is a big sponsor of a lot of esports right now, and they're one of your sponsors as well.
Well, we're trying to get them to sponsor us. We have to have a certain number of followers.
Got it.
And,
So how can we help you?
Come on, Gatorade, get your crap together.
How can all of us watching help you as far as getting sponsors? What can we do?
Actually, our Twitch numbers are pretty good. We do stream our games on Twitch. You can follow us at Laser Esports.
Laser Esports. Okay.
So we were on Twitch for a bit.
We were on Twitch. Our numbers weren't.
Turns out that's not the
wasn't our niche.
not
it
the
was
platform
fine
for this type of show.
Yeah.
But Twitch streaming is a big deal right now, especially for gamers.
I would say the number one thing that we could do is come and commentate one of his matches. Let us be the commentators.
Keith, what we need to do, we need to organize
That
a
would be
match
gold.
where, and we can have multiple screens on here. I mean, we can have like 10 or 12 on this screen, and we need to have some competitive gaming on our channel, and we'll have us, David and against a couple of your top players, and we'll show what real gamers can do.
No. I'm just going. I don't want to get whipped. I'm just saying, let us commentate. Just let us commentate.
Oh, yeah. Okay. First.
Sure.
Actually, the first idea we had in the beginning of the show is great. Drunk esports. We need to make this happen.
Okay, all right.
Get some of your players, Keith, who are above drinking age.
You call it E-Crunk.
Who are E-Crunk. Got it. So who are above drinking age.
Crunk. I like it. E-Crunk.
And we're gonna make this happen. Okay. Every time somebody makes a shot, they have to take a shot. You make a shot, you take a shot.
But they have to drink. They have to drink what we would drink,
right?
And we'll drink what they drink. So we'll drink the Natty Light. They drink the high test bourbon.
I'm gonna have to remote in to that match from home. I'm not gonna be able to sit here and watch you guys do that. There's no way.
We can't do that.
Getting back to
Bourbon Esports, I like it.
Yeah, that'll work. The last question when you were talking about unfair advantages, one of the things in the rule package for a lot of these games, a lot of the characters have different costumes or skins that they can wear. The NJCAA doesn't allow it. You have to use whatever comes stock.
You can have custom skins.
Right. You can do it on your weapons, make them look cool or whatever, but you can't do anything with the operator for like Rainbow Six. There are certain attachments in Call of Duty that are not available in the competitive leagues. So they go by basically the competitive game packages. They don't want somebody using, like, for a sniper rifle, you can't use a bull barrel because it does more damage. So you have to use, you're restricted to certain accessories that keep you on a level playing field.
Right.
And the nice thing about some of those games is if you kill your opponent, you actually have the opportunity to pick up their weapon. So you can't necessarily find, if you notice that this weapon's got an attachment on it, you can say, hey, wait a minute, hold on. You were cheating. You're not supposed to use that.
Right. Does that happen very often?
A lot of
red dot.
Does that ever happen?
Man. No. That's all I need.
No, it's pretty common that the students are on the up and up. They know that they know that they can have to forfeit, or they can get disqualified for using stuff like that, so they don't do it.
So there are leagues that take place outside of. So you're in the college level. There are leagues that take place outside of the school realm, right?
Yeah.
Do players ever get recruited out of schools? Like if somebody's playing on a team at a college or high school or middle school, like you were saying, do other professional leagues come along and say, "Hey, come play with us"?
Oh yeah. Like I said, one of my Rocket League players was recruited to go to University of Buffalo and got a partial scholarship to go there and play Rocket League. There's another one of my students who's being recruited by Cornell. There's the 4-year schools can offer scholarships. There's a gentleman who works here in the library who teaches. His nephew is actually a member of the NBA 2K Detroit Pistons, that are the 2-time national or North American champions. For
2 tournaments, this guy's made $250,000.
Wow, nice. Not bad.
So,
I want
it's
a $250,000.
nice when-
I could use
Yeah,
that.
I do too. I don't want
I
to
mean,
play
$250,000,
NBA,
man. I could
Look,
I could build
Here's,
a lot.
here's kind of the messed up thing, though, right?
You could
Because
sponsor our arena.
the play time that some of these players put in.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking dollars per hour, I mean, these guys, when you play competitive, I mean, they probably play a lot. Like you mentioned, your team, they were playing in the background there a minute ago, and they all left, and they're probably going home to play more at home. Like, this is what these guys do for work and for fun.
They lost early tonight. They should be practicing
One of the kids on that team will be back on Saturday for League of Legends. He also plays on that team. But Batch, we've had to come in here and wake him up.
In the lab.
He'll be
in the computer lab.
running comps and figuring stuff out. And he'll sit back in the chair and just. It's like, Batch. It's like, what? Like, what are you doing? I'm just figuring out how we can. I'm like, dude, just go back to the dorm, man. Go get some rest.
You've been here for 12 hours. Go home.
Yeah. That's a whole nother story. But
I thought he was married or something.
Right. Your cat died of starvation 3 days ago. Go home.
But it's tough. I mean,
Wait for the frying pan.
when Tim told me that his nephew, he actually called the athletic director and said, my nephew's part of the NBA 2K crowd and he plays in the national tournament. And as soon as he mentioned esports, our athletic director was like, "Oh, I'll refer you to Keith." I'm like, "Mike." He's like, "Well, he's an esports athlete." I go, "So you don't think?"
But
that
he's on the sports. He's in the sports program.
Right. And I said, Tim, I would love to have Anthony come and talk to us. I said, but I think he would be able to benefit all of the athletes. I said, because, I would like to find out how much of a work home balance he has, if he's in a relationship. Now, I don't want to get personal, but if he's in a relationship, how much time he can dedicate to that when he's practicing, how much practice is online or in person, and just the life balance, things that he does to be able to, to say, okay, you know what, I got to walk away from this for a minute, because I need to do other stuff.
That brings up a great question, a great thought in my mind, at least. So, I always think of that episode of South Park where the guys, the kids start playing.
Yes, they one dude
World of Warfare.
And they're playing
right. They start playing World of Warfare, and the more they're down there, they start turning into these big fat nerds with, blemishes all over their face. And
Mom!
Hey, Mom, bring my bedpan. I gotta take a shit. That sort of thing. And that's not necessarily the case, but it makes you think of the traditional idea of a gamer might be somebody who doesn't have necessarily the best social skills, or they might be kind of a shut-in. That's not actually the case in real life.
Now we can play the game.
But in the cases of people who don't necessarily have the most best social skill, is this a great outlet for them to network and meet new people and to get out there and actually meet like-minded people, right? It's not just about sitting in front of a computer all day, typing away on your own, right? You're with people.
And that's the whole thing. When I have teams of 5, I tell everybody, I'm like, you can sit in front of your computer and just play. I said, but if you don't talk with your teammates, you're not going to be able to do anything, and you're not going to be successful in your game. So a lot of these kids they'll have dinner in the cafeteria together. If they live on campus, they'll get together and play cards or, sit and talk about strategy in their dorm rooms. I've got a few people in mostly tier 3, but that are on the spectrum. And it's amazing to see them come in and open up to others because they have something in common. And, it's just, you would normally see these kids just walk in with their heads down on campus and just, I know I got to go over here for this class or I got to do this. And now they come in and they walk into the arena. Our Smash Brothers champion is on the spectrum.
Yeah, they walk in with their head held high. They know people.
Dude, when we opened this arena, he came in and he was just like, and I presented him with his plaque and everything. His dad came up and he was just like, he goes, "This is awesome. I can't believe you're doing all this for the kids." And Derek walked in and everybody's like, "So you're Derek?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Hi, how you doing?" I mean, just complete different. It's just that's what I like.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I would be remiss and I would be lying if I said that Jeff and I aren't waiting for our championship rings for one of these tier 1 or tier 2 teams. But seeing the kids being able to interact and doing well,
I want the bling. I'm not
You
gonna
gotta
lie.
get the bling
But
in.
But our Valorant squad, the first year that won the intramural title,
Mhm.
I think their average GPA was like a 3.7. All of them were on the president's list or provost list. They were all fantastic students, and they would come and say, "Hey, coach, can we?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I'll back you for whatever you want to do." Well, we want to go competitive next semester, and we want to play in the competitive series. I'm like, "Fine, I'll sign you up." Well, you don't have a problem with that? I'm like, no. Why do I have a problem with that? You won the intramural championship. That would be the next step.
Yeah, totally.
Moving up competitive series.
Hell yeah.
They didn't do so well the first year, and they're like, Coach, well, now we want to go to tier 1. I'm like, fine, I'll sign you up for tier 1. We had a couple kids that were coming on board that were really good players, and I told them, I said, as long as you keep your grades up, and they qualified academically. So, we hold them to the same standards,
Right.
that any other student that wants to play any other sport has to, they have to qualify academically. They have to be enrolled full time. They have to go to class, and they have to maintain their grades.
And you mentioned that earlier.
If they don't,
you said that you need to be a student before you can become a student athlete. You obviously don't mention names, but have you been in a scenario where somebody doesn't live up to the academic requirements, and you're like, I'm sorry, but you got to focus over here before you can play over here?
Sure. I just this semester we had actually a very good player come in and try out for the Overwatch team, and we were upfront with him, and we said, we want you on the team. This is your first semester here, so we're going off your grades from your transcript. They said everything's good. I said games are every Wednesday at 6:00, and he said okay. Walked out, and next thing I know, one of my kids is like, "How is he going to play on the team?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Well, he's got a 6:00 class on Wednesday for his major. And I'm like, what? So the first week for practice, he came in, and I go, what are you doing here?
Right.
Well, I'm on the team. I go, yeah, but you're supposed to be in class. Oh, yeah, I'll make it up. I'm like, no, go. So, yeah, unfortunately, he's not on the team.
All right, Keith. You just earned yourself that bottle of Eagle Rare. You're like, what have I done to earn this bottle
By
of
being
Eagle
a good
Rare?
teacher.
That right
earned
there,
it, man.
deserves you the bottle of Eagle Rare.
I will tell you, a couple of years ago, my boss in the AV department, because I worked for a different boss over there, looked at me. I had to set up an event for a bunch of students, and I was hemming and hawing about it because, according to the college rules, their faculty advisor is supposed to request the equipment, and the faculty advisor is supposed to be there to manage the equipment and make sure it's not being misused.
Porn, I get it.
No Pornhub at college.
PA systems, we have a lot of kids who I think they're aspiring rap stars and want to blow the speakers out because it's not loud enough, and that's not what we do. But I was dealing with a bunch of students. They're like, well, this is what we're going to do. And I'm like, no, this is not what you're going to do. You can put in a request, but ultimately it's me that's running the equipment. So I will do what's best for the equipment and not what's best for your event. I said, I'll do everything I can to make sure that your event is successful, but don't tell me you're going to blow out my speakers and my PA system, because that's not going to happen.
If you ever get that situation again,
$300 wireless mic and pop on it and then drop it on the floor and break it. I said, that's not going to do. Yeah, I know. There's no such thing as an
aspiring rap stars. Gotta love it.
More like perspiring rap stars. But,
so I actually,
a lot of when they're running away from the cops. No, I didn't say.
Hey, that gives them street cred, man. That's good.
That's right.
It sounds like you be making fun of or doing anything, but that's not the case. For that type of demographic, that is adds to their brand value. Which
it's a cultural thing. We won't go there, but
no.
So,
but she told me, she said, you hate dealing with the students. I said, I actually love dealing with the students.
Right.
I said, I'd rather deal with the students than the faculty members, because the faculty members already think they know everything.
What? The funny thing is, I'll bet the students that you deal with are light years away from what a traditional sports athletic department person deals with, right? We've all kind of seen, we've all heard the news articles about the backstories and the extracurricular activities of some student athletes. I live in an Ohio State town, so I've heard some stories about student athletes. I'm sure your athletes are significantly different from others. You know what I mean?
But wait, but before, okay, Keith,
I'm not
I
asking
gotta
for
put that on
dirty
the back
stories.
burner.
I'm just saying
We got to put that on back. We got to put that on the back burner. West, are you a big fan of democracy?
I love democracy. I live in America. Proud to be in America.
All right. So majority rules, Keith.
Yes.
I think with our small segment on aspiring rap artists, I believe we need to take a vote and see who.
I don't know where this is going. I don't like
West,
it.
I think West, you shouldn't like it. I think West needs to lay down a mad rap for us.
I can barely speak English, and you want me to rap?
So my vote is yes. Keith, do we have a yes? Oh, he's busy. All right,
David,
do you have a yes vote?
I can barely.
My poor assistant coach has been here since like 8 o'clock this morning, so I'm like, go home.
English is not my first language. You want me to rhyme? Is what you're asking?
Okay. Yes. I think we need some mad rap from you.
Yeah. No.
I think we need some mad raps.
No.
Is that how you say that? I don't know. I am
is this
not
a competition, or
I don't.
So no,
are you asking Keith and I to join a rap battle? Is that what's happening?
Actually, that is exactly what I'm asking. A rap battle between Keith and West going down right now.
Devin says don't put it up, West. Devin says don't put it up. Thank you, Devin.
I know. I don't think I should embarrass anybody like that.
That's true.
He just schooled you.
Devin would destroy me in a rap battle. Again, English is not my first language.
Well, you know what though? West has also had a little bit of vocal lubrication.
Vocal lubrication.
I'm still stuck with the energy drink.
Well, he's drinking caffeine. I'm drinking bourbon, David. What do you think is going to happen here?
I'm gonna stutter.
I figured you'd give in first and start rapping.
Fair point.
I'm gonna stutter. I mean, I was just gonna pull out Sugar Hill Gang and go back to the original.
That works.
I don't even know who Sugar Gang Hill is.
What?
I know Frank Sinatra.
What?
It is okay. Oh. I do know who Frank. Okay, I much prefer Frank Sinatra, but Sugar Hill Gang is. It literally is the very first rap of all.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know that is because of my aunt.
Look.
1977.
Wiggity.
Look.
So Dan McDonald says, wiggity, whack.
Hip, hip, hopper, you don't stop a rockin' to the bang, man. Boogie say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity bee.
Keep going, Keith.
We rock a Scooby-Doo. I guess what? America, we love you. I'll stop.
Yes.
That was great.
All right.
That was,
he
won, man.
It's a 7.5 minute song, but I know all of it, so I'm not going to get into it. I'm just.
If we're talking 70s, pre-70s, I'm in.
Yeah, Grandmaster Flash. Dan McDonald had it.
I don't know
Flash.
who or what that is. I know the Flash from DC Comics.
Oh my God, that new movie's terrible.
It is awful, by the way. Yeah. So we're not going to go there. But so Keith.
All right, now you can answer his question from before, but because I got to tell you,
nobody remembers the question, David. Nobody remembers the question.
Keith's like, I don't remember the question. I just got done rapping.
Devin Ross has to log off, so Devin, it's good seeing you, man. So
Devin, you don't have to go. Tell your wife you're talking to us.
Devin,
it's cool.
Hold on, before he goes, rogueenergy.com. Use the code GOLASERS for 10% off your first purchase, and then they'll start sending you codes for like 20, 25% off.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Right.
I will go there.
Cans are expensive. They're really good. They're expensive. Wait until they have a half off sale. Shipping will kill you. Shipping for 4 12-packs is about $30.
Okay.
Oh,
so we can look into that.
Oh no, the former birthday boy.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Noah. Good man. October birthday.
So Noah is playing college football right now. Actually, Noah Leffingwell, and I think Noah needs some Rogue Energy drink to keep him going during practice.
Rogue Energy drink. Hey, Noah, is Mitch watching? Let us know in the comments.
Devin,
we don't have to send.
Devin says, Keith, you need to send him the link. Devin, it's rogueenergy.com. That's the link.
And if you go to Twitch TV and follow Laser Esports, LAZER ESPORTS, all together, every time we stream, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings, we have that code and we have all the information right on our Twitch stream.
Nice. So Keith,
nice.
I'm going to order some of that tonight, and hopefully next week
Devin,
I'll have some Rogue Energy with some rum in it, and we'll say how it is.
Yes. Yeah, we'll try it
Well,
with some rum
if you're
and
gonna do
vodka.
that-
I got both in there.
Mind you, most of the stuff comes as a powder that you have to mix. So if you're going to order the cans, yes, definitely the black cherry lemonade.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
very
You
well.
mix that with some vodka or rum,
and
that's
the
gonna be top
tropical-
notch.
That sounds good.
And that tropical
Yeah.
is really good with tequila. Don't ask me how I know.
Keith, I
Tequila.
drink
But
more
it's got to
powder.
be good tequila.
I drink more powder than any human being alive should ever drink. So
You'll be
yeah,
all right.
I'm okay with
And
that.
he's still this little kid.
Little
it's still following
kids.
me. So I can go
I'm
like
an
this.
Adonis,
See,
David.
Here's Rogue Energy. Let me go like this. Follow me in.
Oh,
No, never mind.
you got the
forget it.
smart camera,
there we go.
Keith. You got
There we
way
go.
better equipment than we got.
Yeah. Okay. Just for everybody watching, I almost said Keith's equipment. Keith's camera.
Don't talk about my equipment.
Hey, David's
That's
talking
why
about
I changed
hey,
it to
Keith-
camera.
Keith's junk is
Camera
fantastic,
is so
by the
much
way.
more advanced than the stuff that we have. Keith, we're very jealous of your equipment.
There it is. Dan's got it. RogueEnergy.com.
David, I'm going to clip that audio and use it later.
You should. That's hilarious.
I'm
That was
very happy
that's
that
why I said
he's impressed by my equipment.
it.
It's not giving me the most flattering look right now. I'm trying to get it to. I'm trying to get it to like raise
It's
up a little bit.
right.
There we
You
go.
need
Now I
the-
can go
there
like
you go.
this.
So you know
No,
all the
just
hand
one. I didn't
motions.
put it on
Like
my
mine doesn't do anything. I do some
Yeah,
of this,
yeah.
and like mine just looks at me like I'm stupid.
It's like
Exactly.
James got the right one. I'm trying to
it's
get it to
good.
stop.
It doesn't do anything.
No, it's following me.
David, you
Things
need
are
to get a
pain in the ass.
webcam,
There
David.
we go. Back it out. All right,
like
I'll
it.
leave it like
Oh, there. Close up.
one more
I'm ready
time.
for my close up. Actually, he texted me that earlier. He says, "I'm ready
Yeah.
for my close up, Mr. DeVito."
It's in love with me. I'm telling you, I can't stop it. So
Hey, by the way, we see your logo in the background on
move up
the
and go
chair.
like that.
So you got these chairs with
You
your
like
logo on
that?
them.
Hold on, let me
Nope.
see if it'll work this time.
You zoom out.
Back out.
Nope.
Ah.
Stop.
No.
Nope, stop. Stop.
Back out.
You know what? Let's go back and restart the show.
This
and
would be
all we
way
do
better.
is try to
Keith,
control his camera.
Keith, this would be way better
We
if we
have-
did have bourbon.
We have love seats over there, and then we have some recliners here. They were all made by Dream Seats, and they have
Oh, love
they
dream
have a
seats.
zip out panel in the middle. So we had the logos done.
Dude, that's cool.
We now part of our grant funding. We have 2 old office chairs that the coaches use at our desk. We were just allowed to order 2 gaming chairs with the Underdog logo. So those will be coming pretty soon here.
So during that during those shenanigans, Dan McDonald says typical show, and my current
Yeah.
wife Kirsten says
Hey,
poor Keith
Kiki's
surrounded
on.
by idiots. It's true.
Thank you, Kirsten. I'm a rose between 2 thorns. Would that work?
A rose amongst
I'm in the
thorns.
middle, so I'm
Fair
just
enough.
going with what I got.
So you actually got these guys to make
Clowns
chairs,
to the left of me, jokers to the right.
but there you go. So you got these guys to make chairs with your logo on them. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Our project manager, when we were looking for some lounge furniture, I was like, we'll just get metal frame. It's easier to take care of. And she was like, you know what? She said, I found some stuff that's, even though it's wood frame, I think it's going to be durable enough. It comes with a 5-year warranty. We've got this, blah, blah, blah. They weren't cheap, but I think the chairs were like $1,200 and the love seats were like $1,600.
Hang on, $1,200 per chair?
Yeah. Well, we have 5 chairs and 2 love seats.
So this brings up an obvious question. If you can answer what you're able to without getting in trouble. How do you fund
Sure.
an operation like this?
Drugs.
Federal grant money.
Do you sell
Oh,
these
yeah,
chocolate
that
chip
too.
cookies that your guys are bringing in?
Are these special?
Are they
chocolate chip
special
cookies?
chocolate chip cookies, Keith? Let's be honest.
Special. I'll leave that for David's judgment when he tastes them later.
Don't get in trouble, by the
drown
way.
me
Do
in
not
cookies.
get yourself in trouble.
No.
Yeah, don't. So
When we started remodeling this room and looking at furniture and the computers and
esports is
everything
big
else,
money.
It is. There's big money in esports.
the college president said, we'll do what we need to be done, but I was never told what kind of budget I had.
Right. So
The
okay.
vice president that's in charge, that oversaw this whole
Mhm.
project, when we had our first athletics meeting, I said something, and so one of the coaches said, "So you don't have to travel for any of your games?" I said, "No, we play all our games from the arena. So basically everything is a home game for us."
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Which is great. I said, because I don't have a travel budget. I said, so I guess that money can be rolled into other stuff. And she goes, "Who said you had a budget?" And I went, "Okay." So I'm under the athletics umbrella. We got some of the money from the teachers union. We got some of the money from federal grant. All I can say is that project manager isn't here anymore. She moved on to a different
Oh,
position.
thank God.
But the problem is that she was the last project manager we had. So right now we have $72 million in federal grant money sitting there waiting for construction and some other stuff.
Let
My
me send you
entry
my
fee is
phone
not
number and
finished.
my email. I can.
Yeah.
We have
you.
some
I need to say,
businesses for
I
you.
had access to it. I don't have access to the budget. If I want to buy or if I want to order paper clips for my stuff,
Exactly.
I have to call the athletic director and say, "Can you put in an order for me?" Then he calls the secretary and says, "Order this on the
Hey,
Esports
Keith,
line."
you
Well,
need to
so,
order $70 million of commentary.
Hey, so yeah, we need to order 100 million paper clips. By the way, Keith, let's
Yes.
rewind really quick though. So
But
you
me
built
this
this,
pretty as a
you
devil.
built this program from the ground up. When they decided
Yes.
that they wanted to have an esports program, did they have any inkling of what the budget might remotely be? And when you went to these meetings, did you say, "Oh, it's going to cost $100,000, $200,000, $300,000"? Did their brains explode and say, "I thought they would just have laptops from the 1980s and be able to pull this off"?
Yeah. That was some of the thing when I spec'd out these computers with the 27-inch monitors. The kids were all like, "Well, one of the kids was like, well, I can't play anything less than 240 hertz." I said,
Yeah,
"Well,
of
that's
course.
good
You need
because
that good
that's what
frame
we
rate,
ordered."
the refresh rate.
Yeah, we ordered the 240 hertz frame rate with 1 millisecond response time, and I made sure that these computers were going to last. We got a 4-year warranty with them. They're going to last. We won't have to replace anything. Maybe the GPUs, in year 3 or 4, but we'll look for a grant to do that if we do, and we'll upgrade to the generation that we're on at the time. But people were thinking, "Oh,
if BlackRock stops screwing around with cryptocurrency, they won't be wildly expensive then, too."
Well, no,
Right.
David, he's planning on paying all this with Doge.
Oh, okay, you're fine then.
He's good. It's going to the
all
moon.
my surplus money that I get from Rogue Energy drink.
RogueEnergy.com. Go to Go Lasers. Type in
RogueEnergyDrinks.com.
Go Lasers as your coupon code.
But no, they had no clue. They wanted to originally house this program in the student athlete lounge in the athletic facility.
Right, they thought it would be played on some old 1980s computers in some corner somewhere.
I'll give them the computers are only 2 years old, but they were basic, desktops. And I was like, "Mike, you can't play on this." I said, "It's a completely different
It's like
thing."
a Dell from
We're
the
gonna
Dell
be
guy.
competitive. And he's like, "Well, Lenovo's going to give us a deal. All Region 3 schools can get these computers for like $1,500. And I'm like, "They're garbage."
Those are great for answering
like,
email
"Well, that's what Finger
looking
Lakes
at porn."
ordered." I go, "And that's why we beat Finger Lakes." I'm like, "We wiped the floor." We played Finger Lakes. I think it was Finger Lakes in Valorant.
Yeah.
Our very first game when we had the arena. Now, the scoring for Valorant, it's the best of 25. So you have to be the first team to score 13 points.
Okay.
All right. You play 12 rounds on either offense or defense, and then you switch. And if you somehow happen to be tied at 12, you have to win by 2. So you go to 25 rounds, normally. But we were playing Finger Lakes. I left the arena because I had something to do at home. By the time I got home,
You were probably smoking cigars with me.
I signed onto my computer. I had my phone and I signed into the Discord, and I heard all the kids going, "Yeah, good game." I go, "Good."
What does that
you guys
mean?
are done?
Right.
I'm like,
Is that
"We
good game
hold on,
or
you
bad
started
good
at
What do you
game?
mean,
7.
good game?
You started at 7. It's 8:00 now." I go, "What?" I go, "You won the first game, right?" "Yeah." They said 13-0. I said, "Okay, well, what was the score of the second game?" They said 13-0. I went, "You shut them out?" He goes, "Coach, they really weren't that good." I'm like, okay.
That's another
So-
great question.
What you don't
And then
understand
I
is
Keith,
looked up.
they
It was
suck.
another school from New York that had ordered those Lenovo computers, and they were just horrible.
So here's another great question. Actually, you bring up a great point. Okay, so first you have your quality of players. Okay, Secondly, you have the quality of the equipment that the other team might be playing on.
Yep.
I assume good schools that have better budgets, just like football or basketball, are going to pull in better players, right?
Sure.
So does that play a big role in it? The budget of a team, do they pull in better players, and eventually you're going to get better accolades
Yeah.
over time, versus
Yep.
a team that a school that might be mediocre, I don't have a mediocre budget rather, and pull in whatever players they can. Like, how often do you see
Steve.
those upsets? Do you see the same thing happen in esports that you see in like a football program? The same trend.
You do see upsets at some point. Our first semester with Valorant, 2 weeks before playoffs, 2 or 3 weeks before playoffs, we ran into a team from Michigan, and I know exactly what Dave's going to say.
F Michigan.
Thank you.
He's predictable.
It
If
was,
nothing else.
Oh wait, this is the internet. Fuck Michigan.
There you go.
Yeah, it was Gogabik Community College. I think they were just outside of Detroit. Anyway, they were a very toxic team. They beat us, and they beat us fairly handily. And as we finished out the season and started playoffs, and we got down to the Final Four, Gogabik was still in it on the other side of the card. And I said, you guys could theoretically face them for the title. They said, no problem. They said, we can make the adjustments and we can play. So we started out, we won the first game in the final match, 13-8, I believe it was. In the second game, Gogabik was up 12-8. And we were pretty demoralized. And one of my team captains was sitting at the computer. He said, and it was completely silent in the arena. He goes, all right, well, we spotted them before. Let's come back and win this now. I said, all right, let's go.
And you did, because they deserve to lose because they're in Michigan.
We went 12-9, and then we went 12-10. And my team captain was like, all right, we got this, 2 more rounds. And Javid was just really, he's one of the best players on the team. He said, no. Just 1 round at a time. He goes, if we don't win this, he goes, then there is no next round. He said, so let's concentrate on what we got in front of us. They came back and tied it up at 12. And then they won the first round in sudden death. You have to win 2 of the 3. But they won the first round in sudden death. 2 of their players rage quit. They walked away from the keyboard.
No way. Like mid-game, they just rage quit?
Final. Yeah, because we came back and we beat them. So we wound up, and then one of their teammates was so pissed at him, he turned him in. He's like, they're still back in the spawn. He said, they haven't moved. They went from the keyboard. Javid went back, got 2 easy kills, and that was it. That was the match.
So, okay, as a coach, like for running a college level program,
Michigan.
as a coach, if one of your players were to rage quit, what would be your response? Would you say you can't play for the next X number of games? Would you say you're off the team? What would be your response?
That's an excellent question, Wes.
I'm full of
Very
great
good
questions.
question.
I'm full of a lot of stuff.
I think
Great question.
my first reaction would probably be, I'd be a little incredulous that they would do that. I think I know most of my players.
Wait,
I
you
don't
got to
think
show
that
us
they
the
would do that.
incredulous look.
Give us a mean face.
Give us an incredulous
Give us
look.
one of these and give us a mean, incredulous look.
There we go.
Perfect. I love it.
That is gold. That was gold. All right, Mr. Spock, continue on.
I've had kids that have accidentally dropped because of equipment malfunctions during games,
And that's
and they
inevitable.
get pissed. They're like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god!"
once you get to a
I'm like,
certain
"Well, we
age,
gotta
it just
forfeit
happens."
that round because it dropped
Right,
before
right.
the start of the round. If they drop during the prep phase, it's a different story because they can we restart the round. But I don't think my kids would rage quit. They understand, and I've been adamant about that. When we have a team of 3 or 5 or whatever it is that's playing this game, you are going to rely on your teammates just as much as they are going to rely on you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't communicate, or if you want to be the Lone Ranger and you go off and do what you want to do, and you're not supporting your team, I said that's going to be a problem. I mean, that means you're going to come out of the game at the break, and somebody else is going in for it. Just like basketball. If you're shooting 3% from the field, they should be pulling you out and saying, "All right, we're going to sub somebody else in." But coach, I'm the best shooting guard on the player. Well, not tonight. You're not.
get the hell off the court.
Right. So
So
Lone Rangers are one big problem, and I totally agree with this. I could never play as a team on one of those. I would just die immediately. Here's a question.
So completely different. I am actually really good as a team.
David's a team player. I am
which is
not.
Exact opposite of what I am normally.
Here's a question though. So and this is a big problem with streaming gamers. How is trash talking on your? How much do you allow?
Oh, is
Because,
it
like,
okay?
I know,
so
like,
that actually should count towards a total.
and I'm
score.
not saying fuck. I'm saying the other F word that you can't say. I'm not going to put it in because I don't want to be transcribed of me saying this word. F-A something.
Oh, okay. All right, got it.
Consonant.
Yeah.
Is a big.
Yeah.
Trash talking is a big thing, and they don't mean it in like a derogatory way. It's for a lot of people.
I think
it's
you
part
should
of
be
the
scored
game.
on it.
How do you allow trash
Yeah.
talking? Is that part of like? Do you allow it at all?
No. The nice thing about this is
All right,
when
I'm
the teams
rage
are
quitting.
actually playing. What's that?
You said no, it's not allowed at all. And I'm like, all right, I'm rage quitting.
David's rage
Go
quitting.
ahead.
I'm rage quitting.
Leffing well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's about time.
The nice thing is when
Hey.
the teams are actually playing, each team is in its own chat channel.
Okay.
So the only way they communicate is through typed words on a keyboard, and that's all moderated by the NJCAA.
Got it.
Yeah, I would have
Okay.
a person dedicated to
If they
chat
get game-
that was
if they
just a key
game
at
footage
smack
that
talk.
shows a person being toxic,
Mhm.
teabagging, for instance. You know, we've had
Do you
that
ever?
problem with
Hey, okay.
throat
Do you
pick.
bring up teabagging? Hang on, real quick. As a coach, explain teabagging. I know what it is. I
me
want you
balls,
to explain to the
Cal.
world what teabagging is,
So teabagging is when
or mushroom
the
stamping. By the
rear-
way, explain
when
a
the
teabag
rear
and a
end-
mushroom stamp.
Teabagging is what happens when a player kills another player. They happen to stand over that person's head and dip their genitals towards the face of their opponent. The
Suck
playing
my
opponent.
balls, Cal.
Do you allow this?
No. And the NJCAA doesn't allow it either. And when go get
Oh, come on. NCAA, you got to loosen up,
Yeah.
man. This needs to be scored.
no, this
I
is
honestly believe that smack talk should be a part of the final score.
Well, then, are you going to throw a flag for indecent
Yeah.
exposure with a teabag, or
Well, yeah, that's a good
No,
point,
I'm gonna throw
David.
a flag.
Look,
I'm going to throw a flag if they don't
David,
indecent
during
exposure
an
and teabag 'em.
NCAA football game, I think that's the organization that manages football. If a person came up and put their balls on another dude's face after they tackle him, would you allow it? I kind
I'd
of say
allow it.
yes because it would be hilarious.
in football,
I'd
yeah.
allow it.
In football, yeah.
I'd
Then,
allow it.
sure. You
Or
know,
basketball. You know what? Perhaps they're
sweaty.
doing competitive. You know what?
Big
I'd
sweaty
allow it in
basketball.
chess.
lineman. Yeah. The problem is that I would be afraid that big 360-pound lineman that wants to come over and teabag me is going to go down and then not be able to stand back up.
Exactly. They're
You
just
know,
gonna.
We
they
call
all wear
that-
knee
It's still
braces.
coming at
They
you.
all wear-
It's not
They call
stopping.
that
I don't
a bonus.
No.
Well, so hypothetically, in a college level, collegiate esports game, if a player were to come over and say, "Hey, I'm going to teabag you after I kill your character, your avatar," what would be the
Excuse me,
blowback
sir.
of this? Pardon the pun. There's no pun intended,
Avatar.
David. No
If it
pun
was in a-
intended. What's
if
the
it was in a
blowback for
regular game.
teabagging?
15-yard penalty, replay, first down.
That
We
when
have
he said
we
that,
have a penalty
blowback-
for teabagging, multiple teabaggings,
blowback.
15-yard penalty, replay, first down.
You said two words that I would never put in the same sentence: blowback and teabagging.
Exactly.
Because all I can think of is if they're coming down, I'm going straight up. Get off.
Like would
Talk
a
about-
higher
okay,
authority?
So Mr. Spock here, Mr. Spock says no teabagging on my watch.
Well, Mr. Spock clearly liked a teabag. So if the coach didn't do anything, is there a higher authority which would come along and would say that's unacceptable? You must exclude this player from X number of future games. How would that work? Is it kind of
I don't think it would go that far, but most coaches understand that there's no room for that
video
Is
games.
there like an internal? Is
There
there like an
absolutely
expectation?
is room for that in video
Is there-
games, and coaches need to allow for
Is there
that.
an expectation of self-policing, or is there a higher authority that manages it?
Well, ultimately, if there's a problem, we can, as a coach or as a player, you can send game footage to the NJCAA,
Mhm.
and they will warn. I haven't had it go that far, but there are sanctions for not following the rules. One of the rules in esports is filling out your Discord information in your roster. So I have all my students hook that information.
you have
as
to use
soon
Discord.
As they sign up.
You have to use Discord.
You have to, because that's the way they communicate.
Got it.
To set up things, if there's a rescheduling or whatever have you. And one of the teams that we have coming up doesn't have any of their Discord information listed. So
What do
we
you do
can't
in
get
that
a
scenario?
hold of them. Well, in game chat, we told them, we said,
You teabag them.
Fill this out. Well, if they actually make it to the game, I will. But
I personally will teabag them. Yes.
the NJCAA has warned teams and said if you don't fill out your Discord information, you are technically not eligible to play that
Are
match.
you under the authority of the NCAA, the actual NCAA?
Yes. Well, it's the NJCAA because we're the.
Got it.
Hey, that dude just stole your trash can.
No, he's actually emptying it for me. We got a bunch of new equipment, and I filled it up with a bunch of garbage.
We're keeping
Was
Keith way too
was
late.
it
By
balls
the way.
guarana?
What's that? Was it what?
Was it full of balls guarana?
No, it's full of a bunch of Fuck
Balls,
Michigan t-shirts.
David. It's balls, not
Fuck
balls.
Michigan.
Balls. It's called balls. BAWLS.
Well, okay, so, dude, I am a freaking
And
hillbilly,
look, they
man. You
missed
got to
their
deal with the
marketing
wild speak.
opportunity. Their marketing should have been, "You need balls in your mouth." That should have been plastered on billboards. BAWLS. You need balls in your mouth.
We just established that gets you a penalty.
It is a delicious energy drink, all natural, by the way.
Hey, Kiki, are you still watching?
It's not as good as Rogue Energy, by the way. If you go to rogueenergy.com, type in "Go Lasers."
Yeah, I bet they right now, if they're watching, like, please don't say our name. Please don't say our name. Oh, shit, they said our name.
But if you go to balls.com, by the way, don't go to balls.com because we can't endorse that at all.
I got to find out what's in balls.com now.
I asked David for a link. I thought he was going to do a voice.
No, this is not a paid endorsement.
So,
I said, "Are you going to send me a link?" And he sent me one for Pornhub.
Yeah, BAWLS.com could be literally anything. I have no idea.
So last night he was like, "Hey, we're trying to set up things and get stuff done." And he's like, "Hey, just send me a link." So I just literally typed in www.pornhub.com and sent it over to him.
Oh, by the way, I found out Pornhub.
He almost clicked it.
Yeah, Pornhub is under multiple investigations right now in not only America but India as well. So I do not recommend Pornhub.com, but whatever you're into, I'm not judging. We're here talking about esports.
Don't go to Mumbai.
Don't do what?
Don't go to Mumbai.
I've been to Mumbai.
Don't go to Mumbai.
And Mumbai is a beautiful city. Do not walk around at night unescorted. That's all I got to say.
So balls.com is like some kind of a sporting event thing here.
Look, balls.
It's
balls is
it's
the
Skittles.
balls. So Keith, here's the funny thing. I used to manage a lot of the.
It's croquet.
Oh, that's a shame.
Cricket.
That's a shame.
So if you go to balls. Okay, so it's okay to go to balls.com.
I used to manage a lot of the marketing development, we'll say, and video development for a American comic book convention. And they've actually been getting a little bit more into the esports realm because there's so much potential there. How do you decide what venue or where you're going to stream? Or if there's a new place that says, "Hey, we want to sort of get in your world," what would be your idea of saying, "Hey, okay, you can sponsor us this way," or "We'd love to stream a series of events in your venue," or "We'd love to be a part of this or that"? Like, is that a broad question, or does that make any sense to you?
No, it does. We have a student that used to work for GameStop.
Okay.
And when we were looking for, I had a couple
investors wanted.
I had a couple of game posters that were put away. I have an original Black Ops 2 poster from the game release that we framed and we put up in here, and a lot of the stuff that's in the trophy case we brought in from home. Jeff and I brought in and decorated the place. So he just said, you know what? He goes, I'm going to check with GameStop and see if they want to do anything for us. And they said, well, we can give you posters, and a lot of the stuff that's hanging here, was given to us by them. And every once in a while, he'll step out and it's like, oh, we got some new game releases here. Take these, and we'll rotate stuff in and out. But we've been reaching out to a couple people, and we don't know. I mean, there's a local barbecue joint that we're trying to get to sponsor us. We don't know. I mean, the kids could go down the hill and go eat there, but I'm like, what? I mean, it's not like we're going to the local bar and saying, hey, we got a softball team, you want to sponsor us in our league, and we'll come in and order wings and beer from you. So yeah, it's a little bit different, but we can't obviously as a college sponsorship from
You're going for bigger fish though. Like your sponsors that you have are like you're trying to go for G Fuel, which is Gatorade. One of your current sponsors is Rogue Energy. I mean, these are big. These are big sponsors.
They are, but I mean, ultimately, the college. I think one of the reasons that, this is just me. This is not a reflection of anybody else's opinion here at the school. OCC has just signed a big agreement with Micron to come in, and Micron is pledging somewhere in the area of like $5 or $10 million to build a smart classroom, clean room, so that we can teach their employees and their future employees clean room operation. And I mean, they're the biggest chip manufacturer in the world,
right? So
and they're looking at opening a multi-million square foot facility just north of the city of Syracuse.
$100 billion over 10 years.
So you mentioned
about 6 miles that way.
So you mentioned potentially this company who is going to talk about clean room technologies. And the funny thing is earlier we were talking about potential, military implications or this or that technology implications. What is there has to be some direct links from your program into other technology areas, right? I mean, it is rife for opportunity. I mean, look, I don't want to put you in a corner, but are you actively pursuing some of these other direct links to potential technologies that are clearly in the roadmap for big money coming down the line?
I will be 100% completely honest with you. This program of the 4 intercollegiate teams and the 96, 97 students, and I just signaled the camera again, so it's going to follow me again. This whole program comes down to myself and Jeff. We are both full-time employees at the college. He works in the registrar's office from 8:30 to 4:30, and I work in the AV department from 10 to 6. So when we do that, our supervisors tend to frown on us working in the arena or on any of the equipment over here because they consider it double dipping. This is part of the athletics department.
That's got to be painful.
A little bit more forgiving. It is. My boss is a little bit more forgiving because a lot of the stuff in here has AV implications. So I can come over and work on the stuff in the rack. And right now our streaming computer from the rack doesn't have internet access, and the guys from the network team are trying to figure it out. So, it's hard because even though the college says, oh, we're behind you, oh, we're going to support you, we're going to do this, it's tough because the individuality of some of the departments is prohibitive of that. So, we haven't had the time to go looking for sponsors and for doing all this stuff. We are currently trying to draft something for Micron because a lot of our students are computer science majors, mathematics majors. We do have a couple kids from art and liberal arts, but we've got business majors. All that stuff can transfer to what they are looking for in an employee. Also, we just discovered today, I did not know this, but Amazon is the marketer for one of our teams, Rainbow Six Siege.
Well, they own Twitch, right?
They game on mobile. Yeah, they market it on the mobile. on the mobile platform. So one of my students said, "Well, geez, I wonder if they would sponsor our R16."
Well,
Hey, why not?
obviously.
I'm going to send them something. I know a couple people that that work for Amazon. I was lucky enough to speak at the SUNY Technology Conference,
Mm-hmm.
and AWS was there, and I wound up hanging out with these guys, for the barbecue the final night.
Mhm.
We're meeting Olympic
Amazon should be
bobsledders,
low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. So I'm like, I still got their card, so I'm going to give them a call and find out, if there's anything we can do.
Yeah, dude. So Keith, you and I are going to talk offline. I have a couple of connections that I think could be fruitful. That's amazing. Yeah, Amazon is low-hanging fruit because they own Twitch, and you guys already stream on Twitch. There is
Right.
big opportunity. So I remember not too long ago, if you remember E3, not E3 TV, G4 TV. They used to be Tech TV. They were G3. It's a whole thing. Don't get me started on that mess. But they actually had a e-gaming competitive streaming thing where they had this like series of big arenas built, and they showed these guys up on stage playing these games on these giant screens with giant, huge crowds. Is that still a thing? Does that still happen, or is it mostly still remote?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, there are still national and international tournaments. The first year that we started, I was contacted by somebody from Syracuse University who was I have to get this right. They were the campus Red Bull ambassador. And I was like, SU has a Red Bull ambassador? I said, you hand out free samples, or, how do I go about getting some
I want some Red Bull, yeah.
So did he wear a monocle?
No, I never
As the ambassador.
met the guy in person. He said, I was just wondering, he said, I know that you're starting an esports program. I don't know if you play Valorant. I said, I do have a Valorant squad. He said, would you be interested in joining the Red Bull Campus Clutch?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to explain that to me because I don't know what the hell you're talking about. He said the Northeast Regional Qualifier is going to be on such and such a date. He said it's basically a single elimination tournament. He said the bracket will be set up once we know how many teams are going to be in it. But if you're interested, go to this link, sign up your team. And I'm like, all right, what the hell? I asked the team, and they were like, yeah, we'll play. I had a kid who played on the team that had literally played 3 matches of Valorant in his life. So Brandon's like, yeah, if you need me, I'll play. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll see what we're up against. I'm sure there's going to be some really good teams. So we went into this thing not having any hope for whatever. There were 37 schools in the Northeast region that played. We wound up getting a first round bye. Mm-hmm. So we watched some of the first round matches. And one that was really intriguing to me was Cornell and RIT. Cornell beat RIT 13-2. And I went, holy
So what's
cow.
RIT? Just for everybody else.
What does RIT stand for?
Oh, Rochester was what is it?
So is RIT like a regional thing?
Technical, yeah. It's a university in Rochester. It's all about informational technologies and.
That's the name of the. That's okay. So that's the school. RIT is the school.
Yes,
got it.
Rochester. It's University of Rochester Information. I don't even know anymore. But anyway, it's a technical school. Mm-hmm. And Cornell beat them like 13-2, and we wound up getting Cornell in the second round. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. We actually won the first 2 rounds of the game, and we played foolishly for about 4 of the rounds. We wound up losing to them 13-4, and the team wasn't demoralized. They said, hey, you know what? We went 2 more rounds than RAT did. And our team captain said, he goes, we threw them 4 rounds on, nothing. He said, we should have been, he said, worst case scenario, he said like 9-6, 9-7 right now, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I said, you guys were fine. I said, it was your first year together. You played remotely because we didn't have the arena. Mm-hmm. So a couple kids were from home, but, now the kids love coming to play up here, not only because of the computers, but the work that the IT department for us has done, the response times are
right.
Our ping times.
So that's the funny thing. The better your team gets, the better technology you're able to get from your departments, the better players you're able to get, the better you play. Just like in football, right? The more money they're able to sink into a program, the better players they're able to get, the better they play, the more money they're able to get the next year. Same thing, right? Same principle.
Yep. But I should go back to you asked me about the bigger platforms. That qualifier, the top 2 teams from that qualifier were flown to Foxborough in Massachusetts.
I love Fox. Okay, if you've never been to Foxborough, it's gorgeous, by the way.
It's a beautiful town.
It absolutely is beautiful.
They had a large-scale regional qualifier set up out there, and if I believe it was the top 2 from that qualifier, or top 4 from that qualifier, went to Houston, Texas, to qualify for an international tournament. And the winner of that international qualifier was going to be sponsored by Red Bull and flown to Japan.
What?
Oh.
Okay, tell them to call me. I want to go to Japan and commentate.
Rochester Institute of Technology, by the way.
Yeah, good old RIT. I love the RIT. They're
RIT.
all over it.
It is RIT. That's what they say, RIT.
RIT?
Yeah.
They love me, by the way.
The RIT is lit.
Oh, yeah.
The RIT is lit.
The RIT is lit.
The RIT is
exactly.
lit. No, Dave's
But,
lit. I've drinking a lot of bourbon.
So
Yes,
Keith,
you have.
we've been going for like 2 hours. Keith, tell us how we can help you. Tell us, all the watchers and listeners out there, what can we do to support your team right now? How can we help?
I would love if anybody likes to sit in front of your computer and watch Twitch or watch it on TV.
That's all we do.
You can follow us at Laser Esports on Twitch.
Okay.
You can. We have social media set up, and I hate to tell you this, but I will have to get you all of the different stuff. Jeff set up.
We need to do it, and we need to push
Facebook,
Mr. Beast to challenge you guys.
So actually, Keith, you know what? I have some opportunities when we're on the countdown. I'm going to talk to you about some contacts that I have worked with in the past that hopefully might be potentially available. We'll talk about it. I almost said lucrative. Then I remember you're in the collegiate level, not the independent level.
You're in the collegiate level. You can't do anything.
Oh, well, it could be lucrative for me. You know, I'm not worried about that.
Exactly.
That's right. Coaches can make all the money they want.
Keith, one of your sponsors
Well,
was
now the kids
Rogue
can
Energy.
too.
So rogueenergy.com. Go to for a coupon code. Go Lasers.
Yep. GOLASERS. They have all their powders are fantastic. They have an energy line that has 200-ish milligrams of caffeine, and then they have the hydration line. So if you're looking for just some refreshment, they have strawberry bubble gum in the hydration line, fruit punch, raspberry peach. There's just all these different flavors, and the combinations are really, really good. The one thing I've noticed, and I'm not knocking G Fuel, but Rogue Energy drink is such a fine powder, it dissolves completely. I noticed with the G Fuel, if you don't get the mixture
chunky
exactly correct, it's very chalky.
Yeah.
At the end, you're like a
I might be more of a G Fuel man because when I take my
Rogue
chocolate
Energy.
malts,
You don't want the chunky.
I kind of want to. I kind of want to chew through a chocolate malt.
You're not chewing through chocolate. It's chalky.
Chalky. You want the
I don't like
Rogue
those
Energy,
words.
Not the
I
G.
want chocolate malt now.
Well,
I want a chocolate malt.
They both
milkshake.
sound good. Look,
David.
so for pre-workout, if you exercise, go to the gym, you want the
Well
Rogue
done,
Energy.
sir. That is well played.
That cookie looks great,
is
by the
what
way.
I
That
want.
looks like a great cookie,
All about the cookies,
dude.
Oh yeah.
All about the. I did it all for the cookies.
I did it all for the. I was just gonna say that.
Forget the nookie.
old
David did it
people.
for the cookie.
I did it all for the cookie. What? The cookie.
I
what?
did it all for the cookie.
Fred Durst is rolling in his grave right now.
And he ain't even dead yet.
So Keith, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks
Give
for
me a
having
red
me, man.
New York
I had a lot of
Yankees hat.
fun.
Keith,
We'll have to do this on a Wednesday next time, so I can actually go home or go to David's and drink and sit next to him and make fun of him.
well, so next time we'll get you at the cigar lounge. But in the near future, I want to organize. I hope you'll help us with this. We want to organize a gaming event where we can potentially put like a link up here where people can donate to your team, donate to your help. Maybe a link to just your Rogue Energy stuff, rogueenergy.com, and buy stuff from there to help sponsor your team.
This seems like a
But
good thing to try to get Mr. Beast behind.
But honestly, if anybody's interested in potentially going into professional esports, going again, just like football or basketball or baseball, going through the collegiate level up into the pros is the way to go.
Yes.
So I highly recommend. What school do you work for?
It's Underdog Community College.
Yeah.
If you look it up online, it's part of the State University of New York, so it's SUNY OCC.
Your program sounds amazing. I'm really, really impressed. Honestly, the more you talk about it, the more I love your program.
I'm getting a lot of the players, the major players at the college, the administrative level on board with it. They see the number of students that I'm drawing in, so they're more liable to give me some of the resources that I need. Except they won't give me any more assistant coaches or a higher pay grade. So, we'll figure it out.
So when those things come, I tell everybody, don't get mad, get money. So until then, we're going to continue drinking bourbon.
It's never ends.
And on the countdown,
my bottle's almost empty. Look at this, David. We've almost killed this bottle of Tin Cup.
I want to see how much Blanton's he's had.
I've killed the Eagle Rare is gone.
What about the Blantons? I saw you open that.
A substantial.
That was a brand new bottle of Weller, by the way.
It did. No, it was. He had a couple of shots.
I had a taste out of it, and then I've got.
That was a new bottle of Blantons. We saw him.
So I've had enough that the bartender be like, "Bro, are you okay?"
And I've seen him cut off, by the way.
He'd be asking. What woman broke my heart at this point? Okay.
Thank God you have an Uber Gold card.
I did Uber Gold.
He should own Uber by now.
Actually,
yes.
I prefer Uber Black. By the way, I prefer Uber
It's
Black.
Racist,
yeah,
David.
Just like the Weller and the,
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Do I dare? Oh, never mind. I can't go there. I work for community college. I can't be saying jokes.
What happens in
That's
Vegas stays in Vegas, Keith.
Hey, what happens on internet is on the internet all the damn time, and people will hold it against you.
When people start talking colors, I can't do that. I just, I'm nope.
Nope.
Because God forbid this shows up in somewhere.
Keith, just do what I say and say nope. Nope.
Nope. Nope. I'll just give it the hip hop, a hip to the hippity hip. Never.
Back to the rap battle, Keith.
All right,
next time you're on the show, Keith. Next time you're on the show, you got to drink because I have a feeling you're going to be a lot more fun. And you were fun, by the way. This is a great show.
Right now,
but you probably won't understand a lot of what I'm saying. So
if he can understand me,
I
can
don't understand
you.
most of what David says, and I still do okay.
Oh, you speak slur? You speak slur?
We all speak slur at this point.
I speak fluent slur.
We all speak slur at
David
this
is
point.
fluent in slur. I know that.
Yes.
All right.
You have merely adopted a slur.
Dan McDonald says, Keith,
born of the slur.
Dan McDonald says you should be the third host of the show, so you got an endorsement.
I like it.
Man,
I appreciate it. Matt, we love you, but Keith's our guy.
I could take over for him, and I wouldn't even drink West's bourbon.
Dude,
I'll drink my own.
Keith, if you want to come sit back here on the couch and just hang out, make random comments, that's great, man.
Well, it depends. How close are you to Hofbrau House? Because if I see another post from David and I don't ever get there,
Keith,
dude,
come down to Hofbrau.
All right. West.
Right.
Okay, here it is right now. So everybody, Dan, you're still watching. I'm here. West is here. Keith is here. Anybody else watching? We need to make a appointment. I'm gonna say appointment as opposed to a date, so it doesn't sound very LED colors.
Mm-hmm.
Over in Buffalo's, probably the closest one to everybody, to go to Buffalo, New York, go to Hofbrau House over in Buffalo. We drink, we party, we throw up, and then we get in the Ubers and go to the hotel.
We'll make it happen. So
why do we have to throw up?
Keith, if you insist on coming to Columbus,
you drinking with. If you're going to try to keep up with me drinking, you're going to throw up.
Keith, if you insist on coming to Columbus, I have some contacts at OSU's ACAD program. I'll bet they have a hell of an esports program built over there. So if you want to come over to Hofbrau, drink until you puke, we can make it happen. Dan McDonald says, if you come to my house, though, you need to eat dog treats, which might be the case. Go to underdogplus.com, by the way, and we'll make it happen.
I'll do jerky. I'll substitute your
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
So so Dan said, well, if you sit on the couch and eat dog treats, so we're looking for a replacement for Matt.
Well, I don't think Matt would
And,
agree with that. He doesn't want a replacement.
So
Well, he got bored. He left tonight.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
he
I mean,
got,
look
he
at
got,
him. I mean, he's lame.
He said he was falling
he's
asleep. He got
old.
bored.
He's like got wrinkly balls. It's not
sit on the
cool.
couch like this.
Right, come on. That's
I've been on like several times
how
tonight.
old you got to
We've
be.
been watching Amazon packages. That's literally what's been
90%
happening.
of what I
I've been
do is
tracking
playing
Amazon
on my
packages.
phone. That's fine.
There was a football game, wasn't there, tonight?
I have no idea.
It's Thursday, so yeah, there's a Thursday night football
Is
game
there?
on.
I'm
I don't care who
I'm
it
watching
is. It's pro.
esports. I have
don't
no
either.
idea.
I might have to go sit out back and have a small cigar and.
Well, Keith, if you make it
Okay,
over
so-
David's house, you get an Opus X.
There you actually, that's a much better idea because I'm on vacation this week, and to be honest, the only amount of time I took off was Tuesday for a few hours, and tomorrow I'm not effing working. So if you want to just run up here, I'll go fire up the gas grill thing or the gas. What do you call that thing? Table?
Fire pit.
The fire
The
pit?
fire pit table thing.
What do you call that thing
that
that
I've
makes
got. I'll
fire?
fire it up.
Fire back.
Well,
yeah.
it's not a fire
You make
pit.
a-
It's not a fire
spark
pit.
and a
It's
fire.
a table, but it's got like little
fire
glass
table.
things in it. It's a fire table. Yeah, it's a fire table.
Oh my! I
I'll
wore my
fire it up,
monocle
and
around the
I'll be out
fire
back
table,
for you.
and the fire table. I got no time for fire pits. Come on,
Too much.
please
Uncle Moneybags.
It has nothing to do with money bags. It's a fire pit. It's like $100.
Oh, the monocle, the guy from.
The monocle. Okay. All right. Moneybags. Mr. Moneybags. Okay.
Mr. Moneybags, yes.
David,
Yeah.
you should be
Wes
used to this by
loves
now.
it. Wes loves a joke at
His
Wes
monocle
loves a joke.
collection is
Okay.
actually pretty next level. Keith, if you see his monocle collection, let me know how it is. I haven't been up to the level of being able to see it yet. He doesn't quite trust me.
Wait a
with his,
minute. I do have a serious question. If I go to look at his monocle collection, can I use both eyes or do I have to close one?
just one.
Okay.
If you use both eyes, your brain might explode.
That,
out
to
of
be
your head.
honestly, is a great question.
That's a
That's a great
No.
question, Keith. No.
Stephen Wright had some really good ones. Like, why is the alphabet in that order? Is it because of the song?
Well, look, it's because of the Romans. Blame the Romans. Ask Dave. Actually, when you get to David's house, ask him about the Neo-Roman Empire. And it's not stuff we can talk about online.
Serious answer. Can you believe
Okay.
Whatever you do,
So,
do
look
not
here,
give
I'm
David
about to buy
access to the
that.
button because the Neo-Roman Empire will destroy
The
at
Neo-Roman
least
Empire.
2/3 of
consisting
the
all.
population of the world.
Yes.
So,
I really
Neo-Roman.
do have one question though.
All right,
are we
one
almost done?
question.
Because I just drank like 32 ounces of energy drink. I gotta go to the men's room.
Both of us had to piss like a racehorse too. All right, Wes, sign it off,
all
bud.
right, I've been Wes. This guy has been David. This guy was Keith Edwards, who is awesome, by the way.
Wait,
Thanks.
And guys, we will talk to you guys soon.
till next
Till
time.
next time, later.
Fantastically infatuated with the in-between, the ups and downs, the curves and the rounds. I'll bring it to your city or your hometown. I'll go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. The neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.